taken out the label.
We agreed that we agreed that way down.
The object does not. So
we agreed that.
Okay, so then what was I saying wrong? So what was I saying wrong?
We were dealing with specifics.
What was I saying wrong?
Right, let me say what's going on. We're dealing with the specifics now.
It's just like the value of gold.
Hold on to that.
Gold has no value. Gold has no value.
No.
Or price.
This is what I'm saying. We were debating specifics.
No. I'm trying to show it's basic.
We have a premise. Come on, it's going nowhere, right?
Let's
have a premise.
No.
We're not learning.
Wait, hold on. The only point was.
Content over everything.
The only point was
What has the label done?
The only point was
to
people. Yeah. The only point was we were. One second, King. We were talking about black, nigger, and African. Yeah. We agree. Can I say this? We agree that the people that are called black and African can exist and do exist without the names black and African. We're debating now what is the worth of those names.
Exactly.
Yeah? Okay. And whether we should be called by those names or not.
The worth is whatever. The worth is whatever. There's no, listen, just like gold has no value.
That's not what
Just like a diamond.
That was the conversation.
Has no value.
That was the
Unless you know how to
conversation.
do other things with it.
That was the
other than wear it
conversation.
like jewelry.
That was the conversation.
Right? Exactly. That's it. A word, it could have been brown. It could have been brown. We could have been called brown.
Can you specify?
Like, it's real.
With this
we could have been called brown. And it would have been the same
revolutionary mindset.
It's just the truth. I'm trying to show you abstract. I'm trying to show you a deeper reality. You're not hearing it. Yeah, alright, so what am I saying wrong there?
Man gets it, fam.
What's the value in the word? Nothing. It's what we put into the word.
That's what it is. That's what it disagrees.
It's what you put into it.
I agree. So what? I agree. So then
we could have been arguing about Australia right now.
What value did we
and we'd have the same
put on African and black?
Okay, that's a
right. This is the question. This is the question. No, hold on. Because and the thing is, collectives are not defined by individuals. Yeah, they're not defined by individuals. A collective puts a meaning into a name, and they give that name meaning. That's what happens. So I'm saying the people that called us they said, listen, brother just said that Marcus Garvey used the word Negro. Marcus Garvey, hold on. I'm not grabbing you. Respect.
Stop putting me.
No, respect. I'm not grabbing you, fam.
I'm not into no mind control, fam. I say to you again,
it's love.
I told you,
it's love.
stop putting me into your mind control. I said to you, I come up here and said black power because of the level of information you could have. If I say to you, power.
Yeah. You didn't say that though.
Bruv, you know what, me brethren? Don't fight with me, bruv.
It's love, King.
Please. I'm not just come
It's love, it's love.
Fuck that. Fuck the camera.
It's love. It's love.
Carry on.
If I
You don't
self-define
need the camera.
As an
Listen,
African.
fam. Don't come on no.
as an African.
Listen, fam. Don't use content over everything.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
That's what I said. Come up,
I said that as an
bruv.
African.
It don't work.
Why are you bringing it back in for?
Because I told you, it's psychology behavior, you know.
I apologize,
said,
did it?
when you
That was
go to
quoted, but I did
school,
it.
you're under a programming
Bro,
control.
no respect.
Education. What does
It's love,
education
King.
mean?
It's love.
What does education
It's
mean?
love, King.
What does spelling mean?
It's love, King. It's
what
like-
does
it's love.
word mean?
It's love.
Fuck you, look, bro. Fuck you, bro. Fuck you.
No, all right. All man was gonna do,
Labels will do that, man.
was make reference to what the brother said, didn't it? Because it's right. No.
Get man in their feelings,
He
arguing
said
about
Marcus Garvey used the word Negro, innit? Yeah, because he made a very serious point. Yeah, Marcus Garvey used the word Negro, and at the time when Marcus Garvey used the
point
word
I'm
Negro,
making.
we go spoke with
So what we arguing?
case end.
Every man just said
Yeah?
to me, every single word you use means
Nothing to do
nothing.
with the thing that we're talking about.
Exactly, and that's all. This is
No,
just
but you're
going
not-
round and
But
round
it's
and
not
round.
all. But it's not all.
Round
But
and round and round.
It's not all.
Round and round and
It's
round.
not
But you
all.
want to tell me about the
It's
worth
not
of a
all.
word?
It's not all.
You want to tell me about? You want to tell me about the worth of a word and then make that
Let me
statement?
finish saying what I'm saying.
Bro, I can't even
Right?
take this shit serious sometimes, bro.
Right. Marcus Garvey used the
Not
word
gonna lie.
Negro.
You're
Yeah.
arguing against yourself,
When you
fam.
watch it back, you might understand.
Marcus Garvey used the word Negro, innit? He went from a school
Nah,
education.
fam.
Let's try and learn something.
Why did he do that?
Go ahead.
Why did he do that?
Because,
Give me the mic.
yeah, At the time, Negro was the word that was the most common word in the world, yeah? Used, yeah, to define the people that he was speaking to. Yes?
Was he in the world or was he in America?
Hold on a second. He was in various different countries in the world, yeah? Marcus Garvey traveled around the world and then started an organization. Then he started the organization in Jamaica, then he moved to America, then he was in Canada, then he was here. Yes,
It's different
and
states.
his organization was in every continent. Yeah, every continent. All right. Okay. So we're talking about a global organization of at least 11 million people, black people worldwide. All right. What I'm trying to say is the organization was called the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League. Yeah. There are many. There are people in the UNI that say we use the UNI Negro for communication purposes, but in the organization we didn't refer to ourselves as Negro. The point is that they knew, even though they didn't use it among themselves, communicatively they used this word. Yeah? To them the word was derogatory, but at the time it had a usage as a tool. Brother got in and said, at the time he mentioned Kwame Ture. There's a speech here that was delivered in the 60s that said, you know what, we are no longer Negro, we are now black. Yeah?
And that's when we made the change.
1 second.
Is that when we all agreed?
Let him land.
That's one focal point. Because the term black here wasn't just a guy.
Man don't get to say it wasn't just from Negro to black to African.
Fam, we're talking about. But it wasn't no one guy, fam. There was a whole movement called the Power Movement.
I respect that. But can I say something?
You can't say one guy, fam. Millions of people on this thing.
One guy.
Can I say something? I don't understand,
We're all African. Oh yeah, let's use the name.
I don't understand,
What do you don't understand?
Africa is very diverse. Yeah? We've got many cultures, many
Yeah.
things. Blah,
So's
blah,
Europe.
blah,
You got some the
systems,
deeper tribes.
So's Europe.
You guys, what are you lot? Where do you represent?
Who's you guys? Who's you guys?
Safe.
The
Power
black
for
referee
politicians.
cleaners.
Power for people that want to play
Understand
identity
You guys.
politics.
Yeah.
That's where the power in the word lies.
Because
People
you
that want to
understand-
utilize it and move it.
Hold on,
To be
man
a
can
being
claim
a
an ideology of Marcus Garvey, yeah? Man can claim
I
an
don't think so.
ideology of
Yeah,
Marcus Garvey,
yeah.
but we live in 2018.
Yeah.
So we can't just live on that alone. So I'm saying, what do you represent? Because they talk a lot about Africa and things that Africans do, and a lot of Africans are here, yeah, looking
What's
at
that
them with-
African?
looking
Am I
at
not
them with
African?
strange face, thinking, what the hell are you talking about? Do you get what I'm saying?
You would be correct.
Right,
You
so
would be
I'm
correct.
saying-
But the fact of the matter is, yeah,
Okay.
because you talk about Africa's very diverse, yeah.
Right.
But how diverse is Africa, and who defines Africa as diverse, and who's responsible for that diversity? So, for example,
always been a
hold
diverse
on.
people.
That's not in question. That's not in question.
Okay.
But a man will say he's Nigerian.
Yeah.
A man will say he's Somalian.
Yeah.
A man will say he's Ghanaian. A man will say he's South African. Them man, they didn't define that definition for themselves.
No. So they should be able to dash
Right?
that away.
Them man didn't define that definition for themselves. Right. So hold on. You ask me a question.
But are you going to teach
Right, hold on. I know. No, I am not going to teach nobody.
Hold on
I know
one second.
Nigerian,
This is the
bro.
problem. This is the problem.
I believe.
Yeah, this is the problem.
I am not going to teach them for themselves. We teach each other. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
so
the
why
difference.
do you not
So
listen to them? Why do you not
who is
listen
them?
to...
Who's them?
All right, why do you not listen to
For
someone like
example,
me, for example?
But I am listening to you. I've been
A
listening
Nigerian.
to you. I've been listening
A
to you.
Yoruba.
I've been listening to you.
Okay.
I've been listening
So,
to you.
what are you going to tell
So,
me
but what are you
that I
telling me?
don't know
But-
about myself and my culture and
But I'm not trying
where
to
I
tell,
live?
but this is what I'm trying to make.
Right.
There are things that I probably can tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, about Africanness and African identity that,
So
that I don't know.
everyone can learn.
There are things that you could tell me.
No, but what you're
There are
trying
things
to
that
say, you're trying
there
to
are things that
claim...
you. Hold on.
No, let him finish.
There
Let him
are
finish.
there are things that you could teach me as well.
Right.
Yeah. When we're talking, are you familiar with a brother by the name of Sheikh Antadia?
Yeah.
Right. Now he's an African from the continent that identify with an African identity, yeah, and put forward programs. I even got. No, I don't have to put me, right?
What about the people that ain't?
Hold on. But what about the people that are? What about the people that are?
Let him finish,
Right?
let him finish.
The point, but the idea,
Right.
yeah, the idea
Of what?
that people in the continent don't identify with this African identity
Right.
doesn't even make any sense to me. You know why?
Why?
Because there are so many people from the continent I learned it from. Yeah.
What does that mean?
That's who you learn it from. What don't make sense to you. But I'm saying the man that's on that land, the people on the land that I keep saying, the people on the continent.
But there
if
are
they
people on the land that do.
the people on the continent, and I keep saying, those that don't use the word African to identify themselves, is their existence invalid? Is their
but
reality
that's not the
invalid?
question.
So then what we're saying
but
is,
we never said that.
you have accepted a label
you're
and
being disingenuous as well.
How?
Because Sheikh Anta Diop, who studied in Europe, yes or no? Who was under certain schools of thought, so he had to release papers because he works for Europeans. You get what I'm saying? In their institutions.
You're incorrect though. But you're incorrect though. But you're incorrect.
What he released privately.
But you're incorrect.
What he released privately was the real information, not what he had to put out his work paper. Because work is work.
I don't understand what you're saying.
You don't want to lose your job.
I don't understand what you're saying.
So you have to say, like, if you find a statue, for example, and it just relates that everything, these are the same people walking around that particular area.
No, but yeah, but then you're misrepresenting Sheikh Anta Diop's work though.
No,
but you are.
No,
but
you're saying it straight.
Sheikh Anta Diop. No, I'm not. No, I can tell you why you're wrong.
Be fair.
No, on the legacy of, I am being fair. On the legacy of Diop, I'll tell you why you're wrong. Yeah, the man has a book that is named The Cultural Unity of Black Africa. Yeah, it don't get more emphatic than that, Maji.
Well,
yeah,
where
he's spelling out, where he's actually going through as a historian and an anthropologist, where he's going through, the different elements and cultures in the continent and how there is cultural unity in Black Africa. That's the whole purpose of the book.
I feel like man is so attached to this African culture.
Africans living. Hold on.
Man just sees it as like, this is like back in the days when it was like
after the
Windrush or the
ideas
streets
have
of
been
paper
put on
gold.
paper,
Like ideology, man sees it as something super extension that's going to fill the gap inside. Same thing I said to them white extremists.
Are the Africans still
you lot can blame whoever you want, the government, Muslims, whoever,
culture.
You got a hole inside of you that needs filling. And you're looking for that. Everyone is
searching
for that.
Because I would argue that most Africans today, I'm not.
No rating.
But this is what I'm saying. No, hear what I'm saying. No, but hear what I'm saying. No, you see what I'm saying. But you don't hear 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 what I'm saying. But you haven't heard nothing. But you ain't heard nothing. But you ain't heard nothing. But why are you saying that for? But why are you saying that for? What is what I'm trying to say? Why are you saying that for? I'm saying.
It's a fact.
No, but you're saying.
You keep telling Africans about Africa.
I'm telling Africans. First of all, I'm an African. Don't tell me I'm telling Africans. You're African. You're telling me as well. Right? That's the first thing. The second thing is this. Right? We're talking about.
Man's African though. What do you mean by man's African?
You know,
if you want to
your family are from Africa. You mean? I don't mean.
Yeah, basically.
Or like we all come from Africa kind of vibe thing. Slavery and that. Is that what you're talking about? I'm asking. Do you have, bro? Let me look. Listen to me.
We can get this if you want.
I'm not getting into that, fam. Bro, I'm trying to be precise. I'm trying to be precise, brother. Family. I'm trying to be precise as in where you're from.
Man has to be in Africa. Man has to be relevant to Africa. Does that make no sense? Hold on. Let me deal with this about Africa.
Wait. Do your family have any connection to any Caribbean islands?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so what I was saying is, now we've come from there, innit? Yeah. We've come from this point. You and I'm attaching myself with you because I identify with where you're coming from.
Okay, cool.
So we've come from this place of slavery, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Now this makes us have a void in our history. Yeah? Not only the people that have been colonized, not only the people that are brought over by slavery, but we understand that there's been an intentional pulling away of what's reality.
There we go.
And what I'm saying with that has been some supplying of what is reality.
Yeah.
And with all of that comes the labels. What I'm saying is, with all of that comes the labels, especially your attachment to this label of Africa, because what I'm telling you is, Africa, we could have called it banana, we could have called it Carrymore, we could have called it Gangland, we could have called it whatever. The place would still exist and we'd still have the same passion for it. The label is the label, fam. Yeah? So don't let a man manipulate you from. This is what the whole conversation is about.
But who is it?
No, because this is where you came in.
No, but you have to show me now.
You have to show me now. This is where you came in. I never said you was being manipulated.
No, but you have to show me now.
But people can.
But you have to show me now who, as a part of trying to impose their reality upon us, gave us the label African, and what purpose are they serving?
As a man from the Caribbean islands that connects back to this land you call Africa, you are so intent on talking about us as Africans. Us as Africans. But what I'm saying is, there's people from that land,
But that's a different argument. I'm asking you, who imposed the term? Because it wasn't me that imposed it.
You're not hearing it.
No, I'm hearing. No, I'm asking.
Who had voted for the
No,
term?
that's not what I said. That's not what I said. No, that's not what I said.
It was imposed on the. You're imposing it on them now. We're all imposing it on people that don't use that term for themselves.
But you're saying that somebody.
Who voted for the term?
But you're saying that.
Who voted for the term African?
I didn't vote for it.
Who voted for the term Igbo?
I didn't vote.
Who voted for the term Yoruba? Did you vote for the term Yoruba? You said you're a Yoruba. Did you vote for the term Yoruba? Yeah.
No,
Did you vote for it?
It's a family name. It's a
it
family
existed before me.
That's the person you're descending from.
That's timeline.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to
Yeah.
timeline.
Right.
That's his family name.
Nobody
The
wants
name Africa.
Right. So if somebody imposed the term African on me,
He's gone zero.
tell me who it was. Who imposed it?
It's America.
No,
I keep hearing
I'm
America.
saying if you lot are saying somebody as a attempt to impose their reality, yeah, like in the same way as Negro and nigger, yeah, on man, yeah, where show me the lineage for where the term African was
You show
imposed
it.
on man.
You show it. Why we need to use it? You show it. Where does it come from? Tell us where.
I was asking.
It come from the Romans. Come from this guy.
But you can't say
Have you
that.
heard this
No,
statement
fam.
before? Have
It's
you
not-
heard this
it's
statement?
not- you can't-
Hold on,
you can't
wait.
say that.
Have you heard this?
For a whole
Have you heard this
continent of
statement
people
before?
that haven't agreed for that.
Hold on, wait.
You don't get it.
Hold on,
But
wait.
you can't.
Bro.
There is a
didn't
place
get it.
it
You
came
don't
from.
get it, bro.
But the question is, the place that it comes from, the place it comes from, is it a term that is used to oppress the people that are being called African?
It could be. Yes.
or-
The term African has
or-
been used to oppress people.
Fine,
Yes,
how?
yes, it has.
How?
Because if I put on my application that I'm a fucking black African, I'm getting oppressed, bruv.
Well, in this system, maybe.
Black killed.
There you go then.
And the question is,
what? Is that not
before
answer the
Africa was
question?
called Africa, what was it called?
No, answer the question. You
wait,
telling me people don't use labels to oppress other people?
You know in your heart, we don't know where.
We can go there.
Have a purpose. Have a purpose
They
behind the
don't
word.
use labels to oppress other groups.
One second, yeah?
Who's
If you want to call yourself something, let's establish the purpose. Because
No one's agreed
Because you're
to
saying
African.
Africa, there's a purpose behind that. If we understand the purpose, the conversation makes more sense.
But when you watch the video of this, you're gonna know that I said that about an hour ago. Exactly what he said. I said it about an hour
That's
ago.
what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. What I said was, it's not even just about the name. It's where does the name come from? Yes. What's the meaning of the name, and what was the intention behind the name?
Exactly. That's
And
the
I'm
one.
saying,
That's the one.
right?
That's
Hold
the
on.
one.
Hold on.
Okay,
Hold on.
you lost.
Hold on.
You lost
Hold on.
on
Hold on.
every
Hold on.
point because-
Hold on.
because
Hold on.
we're using
Hold on.
This
But
guy-
African is
this
not
guy
an English
has
word.
100%
African is
knowledge
not an English
of-
word.
This guy has 100% knowledge
African
of where
is not an English word.
Fail-proof knowledge of where the term
Why?
not
Because-
African comes
But I
from.
never said that, Maji.
Okay, so
But I
then
never
what-
said that, Maji.
Then why are we talking about
No.
So you
But I
don't know
wasn't
where
the
it comes
one.
from.
They have different.
So what
But
I'm
I
saying
wasn't
is,
the one.
always go in circles.
you're not fighting for. No, one second. You're not fighting for the word.
No, I didn't say that.
Yeah, you're not
I said
fighting for the word.
I self-identify.
You're not
and I
fighting
feel
for the
black
word.
African.
But you're
No,
not
hold
fighting
on.
for
You
the word.
haven't established a purpose. That's why you're going to repeat
Exactly.
yourself for another hour.
Exactly.
This is what black power is. This is true black power.
No.
Look here.
I
That's
am
why I'm
saying,
silent. This will always
that
happen.
I would
Because we
identify
don't value
and I
purpose.
would
We
identify
value
black
talking.
people as
Yeah?
African.
We value just talking.
Right, hold on, right? And I'm saying that the people that I call black people identify African as a tool of self-determination.
People called what?
People
Yeah.
that are called black people,
By who?
self-identified.
Call themselves the ones that self-identify themselves
No,
as black.
the people that are called black people.
By
the
who?
people
What
that
do
we
you mean?
identify as
The
black
people.
people.
Who's
The
no,
people that-
1 second. You're saying
no,
people
hold
and
on,
people.
hold on.
I'm trying to get
Hold on.
clarification.
Because
The people.
the
What people we
conversation,
talking about?
the conversation, yeah, is about labels, isn't it?
You said the
so if I
people-
say black people, yes, we can generally understand who we're talking about. You might not agree with the word, but you know who we're talking about. So I'm saying,
Up to what degree, bro?
Hold on.
Everyone's saying yes, and then this bare man standing
No,
there
you
like,
would know what I'm
because
talking about.
this-
You don't
you're
have to
gonna-
agree.
Bro,
You don't have to agree.
Bro.
You
What I'm saying,
For the
you can't
argument.
say that.
We're arguing for the sake of it now.
Bro,
We're arguing for the sake of
Are
it.
we saying that the term black cannot be confusing?
No.
Are we saying that?
I'm not saying
Are we
that.
saying that? One
No,
second,
no.
bruv, man. Are we saying that the term black cannot be confusing?
It is confusing.
Are you going on like I'm chatting shit?
I didn't
Can
say
be.
that, you know, Maji.
Depends
What I
on
said
what
was,
then?
if I
How
say
are we
black
arguing for
people,
no reason?
if I say black people here,
We know
yes,
what
you know what I'm talking about. Right, cool.
Black people, all of you.
There's certain
You
man
know
here
what
that don't
I'm
even
talking
know if they're black.
You know what
There's
I'm
certain
talking
man
about.
here that don't know if they're black. There's certain man here that don't know if they're black.
Right.
There's certain man here that say that they're a Bantu and a black man, and the next man thinks they're Asian.
Hold on a
That's
second.
them.
Hold on a second. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you did it.
So how do we all know?
No.
Because you're thinking no, that
But
don't
let me
include
finish my
him.
point.
Someone's watching
Let me
thinking that
finish
don't
my point.
include
Let me
you.
finish my
Not from Africa.
Someone's watching saying that
me
don't
finish my
include
point.
you.
1 second.
Let me finish my point. What I was saying is, the people that we identify are commonly identified as black people. Yes? at a certain point in history, among them developed a group, of people who identified as African. Why? Because they're identifying
as black or African first.
He's explaining.
There was a group of black people.
This is confusion, by the way.
No,
This is confusion.
I did not say.
Identified as African.
I did not say. No,
Black
I said the people that are commonly referred to as black. Yes. So I didn't say we identified.
Okay.
I said the people among the people who are commonly identified as black. Yes. Around the diaspora, knowing that we are around the diaspora. Yes. In terms of trying to liberate themselves from an oppressive system.
There you go.
Yes.
Oh, post-slavery, we're talking then. We're talking
what's-
post-slavery. We're not
That's
talking
the
about
value.
anyone that
That's the
existed
value.
before slavery.
That's the value.
That's what does it.
That's what I'm saying.
I agree with you, fam. I agree with you. Man, them after slavery, took them terms as black and African.
I'm not gonna finish it. though.
No.
I'm not gonna because man not gonna go on like say Yoruba is the most ancient of names.
No one is saying that.
And no, it don't make no sense.
No one is
And
saying
Igbo,
that.
all these things,
No one's saying
all
that
of these
though.
things.
Is it older than
All of
English?
these things.
Is it older than English?
But Africa is not
Is it
English.
older
But
than
Africa is not
Hold on,
English.
one second.
So
Is it
wait, you
older
keep
than-
bringing. But Africa is not English.
But we're using English, yes?
But Africa is not
Alright,
English.
cool.
What is it?
But
What is
we're
it? What is it?
agreeing, yeah,
What is it, bro?
that we're using
What is it?
English. Yes or no?
Yes.
Right. And this is the problem. I'm saying we're using the oppressor's language.
But
yeah?
Africa is not English.
These words.
There has to be an ultimate goal in this conversation, right? There has to be somewhere we're trying to go. By establishing where you're trying to go.
Ask the question. Ask the question.
No, he's asking me questions. Let me ask one question, right? Yeah? There has to be a place we're trying to go. Hold on, friend of mine.
I don't.
5 seconds and jump.
You know what?
No, I don't.
This is all
I
confusion.
don't know.
If you
What-
can't see
what's
this,
the point I'm trying to make?
we
If
haven't
you
moved
can't
from
say-
this
if I'm saying-
topic for
Yeah,
2
go on.
hours, and we
don't
never
even know
will.
what language African
Yeah?
is.
Have a purpose.
What language is
You
African?
want to call people African for a reason.
What do you know?
He's
You
not
can't
saying
help
it's
that.
not English.
No,
Africans
it's
can't
not
help
English.
Okay, cool. But you don't know whose
It's not
language it
English.
is.
Let me.
Nonsensical, right?
What I'm trying to
This
say.
brother said he knows where it comes from.
And many
What
people
I'm
say they
saying.
know, bro.
No. Right,
Kemet.
that's one.
African
This
comes from
is hold on. This is why man can't say man knows, innit? There are different theories, of where the term Africa comes from. None of them are English.
And none of them matter.
Yeah, so man can say it's not English.
none of them matter.
Yeah, man can say
None
that
of them-
confidently.
none of them
We
matter
today
to
have a
you.
purpose, right?
None of them
So,
matter to you.
But they all matter to me.
The
theories.
But I'm not gonna.
It don't matter.
But I'm not gonna go on and say there is a definitive
The
idea
truth- the
about where
truth
it
of
comes
the-
from.
Okay, so then
Don't
we
make no
say,
sense.
But what is the
So I'm
purpose?
agreeing
This is
with
the
you
problem
again and
with you,
saying
bro.
we can
With me,
detect
We
that label
haven't
because we don't even
got
know where it comes from.
a
And man don't even care where it
definitive
comes from.
identity
So
of
it's
where you come from,
Yeah, but
No purpose.
what your ideology is.
no, but we don't let that. My ideology where I come from doesn't come from.
There's a reason, brother. There's a reason why you're East African, right?
Yeah,
I'm jumping.
There's a reason.
If you let them know the reason,
But
it'll
that's
give
fam,
context
How
to
do you
what you're
fight white
saying.
supremacy
Yeah.
without using the word black?
There you go. Yeah. So what is?
fight it.
As I said, yeah.
Let's fight it.
You say
What,
Africa.
are you going to talk it out? Are you not trying to talk
Hold
it
on,
out?
there's a reason,
Huh?
bro.
Why
We don't know where it
you're
came
not
from.
trying to talk it out?
This
gonna be a
this
debate
level.
that's gonna
This is
be
level
this
one. Let's
thing.
get to level two.
Conversation.
Level one. Let's get to level two.
go on.
Yeah. People who identify the black were mistreated, right? Those people want to defend themselves, so they need a word. You can say banana cake, African, Superman. Yeah. It's trying to defend those people.
Why was it African?
Exactly.
Why was it
Thank you.
African?
Bigger,
Why was it
bigger.
African?
That's my point.
Why was it? No, but
That's
why?
my point.
But why was it
There you
African?
go.
But why was it African?
Yeah.
Why was it African?
Man is going to want to do the works regardless of
Why?
what they call
No,
it.
no reason at all.
To get free.
There's no reason why it was
That's it.
African.
Because the definition
That's
of
it.
the word.
There's no reason why it was
divided.
African.
The
Where you
definition
get it
of a
from?
word means
Break it
divided.
down. Where you get it from? Where you get it
We
from?
got done that now.
Where do you get the
You
idea
can't
that African means
From the
divided?
definitionary.
You don't know
Yeah,
what
what
language it's
definition?
from.
Where? Explain it. I don't know. You're presenting me. No, that's what I'm trying to say. No, but bro. No, but bro, you're presenting me new information. Bro, no, with
All
respect.
he's going to tell me
Bro.
is in the old Latin.
I don't know your name. I don't know your name. I don't know your name.
Greek.
I don't know your name. Maku, brother Maku.
But it's not.
My brother.
Patisserie.
My brother. My brother.
He's gone.
My brother. No, but I want to know. He's
words, man.
I want to know.
Some advice. It's going to go forever.
I know.
You have to get established.
But you're teaching me something. You're teaching me something
Yeah,
new,
I'll
innit?
teach you language.
Right. So I'm saying you're telling me that the word Africa means divided.
That's right.
Yeah. Explain that to me, like in terms of what language that is from, and how that definition is applied to the word Africa. I don't know. I'm being genuine right
Doesn't matter
now.
what it means.
I don't.
Doesn't matter what it means. Doesn't matter where it came from.
It does. You know what? It does. I'll explain to you in a second. But I want to know.
Why are you identifying with it?
if you don't know
No,
You don't know. You don't know what
I
it
did-
means.
No,
You don't know what it means, and you don't know where it
That's
comes
not what I
from.
said. That's not what I said.
You don't know what it means, and you don't know where it
That's
comes
not what I
from.
said. That's not what I said.
You don't know what the word means,
That's not
though.
what I said.
You don't know what the word means. So you
Right,
don't know
the
where it comes from,
original.
so it don't matter.
Right, Phoenician, yeah?
Here we go.
Right? Afar may either come from the Phoenician, Afar, dust, the Afri, a tribe, possibly Berber, who dwelt in North Africa.
So we don't know.
Yeah?
Basically.
But isn't that what I said a minute ago? Right? What's it called? And when we talk about Berber, yeah, we're talking about black people, you know? Yeah, for the most part.
Do you not agree
Alright?
with that? Do you not agree? This is where your mates start saying, no, they're cushioning.
No,
They're not talking about you, you know? They're talking about them, man. Tell him.
Wait.
Tell him my Somali brother. Tell him, my African Somali brother. Tell him he's not talking about him, not the Bantus.
Hold on.
Tell him.
Wait.
All right.
Wait.
You know what
No, wait.
Yeah, we're going to do that on the word black. Let him speak now. Let him speak now. Let these men speak. Let these men. Let our Somalian brothers speak. About this thing. Tell him. It's not you, you know, it's his lot.
Come on.
The Cushitic. You're Bantu.
What's your point?
You're not the same thing. Exactly. But this is what I'm saying.
What's your
He was
point?
defending, yeah, no, we are black, we are African. But now look, watch it. Watch it.
No, go, wait.
Watch it now. Watch it. But you see man's psychology. Man sees himself as separate to you anyway.
You get me?
But that's not a problem to me. That's not a problem to me.
Wait.
That's not a problem to me.
So it all goes back to what he was saying, right? Words do have value. It's what you put in.
Some people say Arabs are originally from that area of Africa.
Yeah.
They're indigenous. Other people say that they came a long time ago from what's it called?
No, I'm
Where
not.
did they come from?
Listen.
They came from somewhere else.
Listen. No, there are schools of thought.
People say they came from
There are
somewhere
schools.
If we don't have a purpose, we'll be talking for another 2 hours. I'm giving you a joke. That's why. So you know what? It doesn't matter if you're Somali, Igbo, Yoruba, you're different. One time, fam. Listen, who's speaking? One at a time, innit? One time.
Hold on. Let the man speak.
Go ahead.
Let the man speak. Go on. I'm listening.
Go shout out.
Okay, I can't shout loud, but I'll try. So basically, like you said earlier, words do have value.
Yeah.
Is what you say about the word.
Right.
Now,
What meaning you give it?
Now, yeah, exactly. Now, like Jedi said, like I will call you a Bantu, and the word does not refer to Bantu people, like Africa or Alpha.
Say again?
Like Jedi said,
Yeah. The word don't refer to Bantu people.
yeah, he does, that's what he said.
Right.
Like I'll come out and be like, no, the Alphas are not Bantu people.
Yeah.
Now, what he used was tribal words.
Yeah.
Alpha is a tribe.
Right.
You understand? Bantu is a tribe.
Yeah.
But we all come from one continent.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Somehow, I don't know where the word Africa came from. I'm not going to claim that I do. But as far as I know, I'm Somalian and I'm from the Horn.
Where does Somalia come from? Where does Somalia come from?
According to what we're taught
Yeah.
in school,
Yeah.
Africa.
No. What I'm saying, but where does the name Somalian come from? And the identity of Somalian.
Okay, all right.
Wait. Because correct me if I'm wrong, yeah. But in Somalia, there are different groups in Somalia. Yeah. I don't use the word tribes, but I get what you mean. Yeah. But I'm saying in Somalia, there are different groups in Somalia that identify with different names. So where's the identity of Somalia come from?
Wait. Identity of Somali,
Actually,
Right, Somali. Right, but Somali is one group in Somalia.
What is the value of this conversation? What is the value of this conversation? Now wait, the word Somalia,
What is the value of
the word Somalia is from a man, a king that used to rule Somalia. Like Saudi Arabia, it's not the country's name, it's the name of the man.
But my point is,
It's Somalia.
what about the people in Somalia that are of different groups, innit? Because Somali is a group, yes?
No.
Right?
Somali people.
The Somalis. What is it in Somalia? So how come the people that in Somalia that are not Somali are now identified as Somalian? Nationality. What do you say? What do you say?
It's the claim part of the land.
Pardon me?
It's the claim part of the land. It's like the West.
You're getting confused. There's an ethnic.
But the point is that there are none. But the point is, would you agree with me? Exactly. So today there are non-Somali people who identify as Somalian. Would you agree with that? Would you agree?
I don't know.
Right? You don't know. As Somalian. Yeah? There are Yoruba people that identify as Nigerian today. Yeah? Igbo people that identify as Nigerian today. So why can't Igbo people, Somali people, Yoruba people identify as African?
But why does Somali?
Why can't? What's the problem? What's the problem?
African then.
What's the problem? What's the beef?
We're Nigerian. Identifying with the continent.
Go ahead.
People know that. Don't make no sense.
That's fine. But if you ask them what, if I say, where are you from? What are you? You say I'm from Somalia. I'm Somalian. Yeah?
We're looking quite silly at the moment. One time. Let's have a conversation. Let's try to get
Exactly. You use the right word. No, I'm not saying I'm not using the right word.
discipline. This is black empowerment. This is what it is. This is what I struggle against. This is what you struggle against.
Hey, bro, look what you started. Look what you started. Look what you started. Look what you started.
No, but I'm saying it's true.
We want to help black people, quote unquote, but we can't because this is what will always happen. That's why I'm free from this. That's why I'm free.
Why would they be human?
That's what my work actually works.
What's human? Who was the English word? Who was the English word? Who was the English word?
Now, let's have some
What's
discipline.
human?
Let's have 1% discipline. Come on. Let's get some discipline so we can have a
I agree.
conversation.
I agree.
Yeah?
All right.
Now, before we get that, let's have a purpose.
I agree.
You want to call yourself...
Hold on, brothers. Let Raven moderate the thing.
Yeah, let me moderate it. Come on, family.
Let Raven moderate the thing, yeah?
Listen.
Let Raven moderate the
Hold
thing.
family, we're not going to go around the block. Hold on. One time, yeah? So far, hold on, family.
Hold on, King. Hold on.
So far, hold on, Jed, I beg you, call 65.
Jedi.
So far, nothing has been learned, yeah?
Yeah,
So
no,
far,
you
nothing's
can't
been
say that.
learned.
We've learned.
Minimum, well done. High five,
Don't
right?
do that, man.
Yeah,
Don't
nah,
do that.
confusion. Yeah, disorder, yeah? Now, here's what we're going to do, right? Let's establish our purpose why we're saying something, right?
Good.
Because there's a reason why you guys are saying what you're saying.
Yes.
If we understand the reason,
Yes.
it'll make more sense. Yeah?
Good.
So we start there.
Yes.
Right, well, it looked like confusion to me, bro.
Yeah, no.
I'm good.
And it usually does when you come in the middle of a conversation.
Well done, fam. Well, you've learned,
When you heard the beginning,
you've learned, bro.
Why are you patronising me, fam?
Well,
I'm just giving you the truth.
I'm giving you my truth.
But you're being patronising.
I'm giving you my truth.
You're being patronising.
You
are.
the conversation started. You got to be realistic. For a man that just came in and he's like, oh, we're not learning that.
This moment.
But me and the brother are in sync, you know.
This moment, bro.
Right.
This moment.
We're all in sync, man. You just not hearing the moment.
I'm hearing it, fam. I'm hearing it.
Now we're going to this one.
Let him moderate the conversation. Because my man's on the thing.
Yeah, it's all in it. We're here to learn.
We're all conversing, man. No disrespect, we're all conversing in this conversation here.
Because we trying to identify.
Like I said, yeah, just establish the purpose, yeah, the reason why we're saying. Yeah, there should be no argument. It's a conversation, isn't it, right?
This is my purpose, isn't it?
I am saying. What's the value of Africa?
I am saying the people that are commonly referred to as black, yes, not the people that should be commonly referred to as black. The people that we commonly, if we say black people, you know what I'm talking about, need a identity that is self-defining, that is collective, that separates them from the intention and the system, the society, the identification of their oppressors, and unifies them collectively under a common destiny. It doesn't mean that a man is not Yoruba no more. It don't mean that a man is not Igbo, or Ashanti, or Zulu, or Somali, or Amoro, or Amharic. Yes? It don't mean that, you know, my G. That the people that said African were trying to bring all of that under one umbrella. For what purpose? What you just said a minute ago? Nationality, nation building. That was the purpose behind it.
We can't be one nation.
So, why can't we be? Who told us that? Why can't it be? According to who?
Wait. I'll tell you why.
According to who?
Let's try to act civilized. 5 minutes of civilization. Just 5 minutes of civilization.
According to who? See?
Come on. One at a time.
Hold on. The white man, you know, the white man can come in. Hold on. The white man can come in.
Listen. You could say. Okay, you could say. Guys.
The thing is, we want to have one voice, you'll get some time in. Let's try to learn.
You could say one thing. You could say Africa as a continent. Yeah. We could share the same trade or economics or whatever it is, like, or business or whatever. Right?
Yeah.
You could say that, right? But you can never say that we're going to be one country. Why? The reason why that is, for example, Ethiopia and Somalia will never be one.
Why?
Uganda and Kenya.
Why?
Go back to history.
Yes.
Once you understand the history of these people,
yes,
then you will understand why.
But there was a point. But there was a point before there was Ethiopia. There was a point before there was a Somalia. There was a point before there was a Kenya.
Okay.
Yeah. There was a point before there was an Eritrea.
Okay.
Yeah. And there were various different people. Yes, that were placed into these nation states that now a man will say I'm Nigerian. Yeah, but he's Igbo. A man will say I'm Nigerian. Yeah, but he's Ejao.
That's what I'm trying to show you.
Yeah,
no, but I'm not saying that. So has Kikuyu land, but now it's in Kenya. And they need to go with the Maasai. Yeah, and the others. Right? The point is, if the white man can come, yeah, and say, you know what, Igbo, Yoruba, Ejao, and all the people there, all of you are Nigerian now. If the white man can do that, why can't the African say, you know what? African people, we're African. What's the point? What's the problem? What's the problem?
But some Africans aren't buying in that.
Some people, and it's not even, you don't even need to be collective.
Every man,
history and culture.
every man.
There was a time, if you go back to history,
our history and culture is richer than what you're saying, and older.
Of course it is, but of course it is. That's the point I'm making. That's the point I'm making.
No, you sound like a agent of confusion.
Selassie the first.
No.
All right, now, wait.
No.
That's plain. It can't get plainer than that, fam.
I'll go back to it again. You cannot tell a Somalian, about him being Somali.
Yeah.
I didn't do that though.
You cannot.
No,
I didn't do that.
You can't do that.
I didn't do that.
So what's African?
I didn't do that.
What's African?
I didn't do that.
What is African?
But I didn't do that.
But hold on then. What is
didn't do that.
African? Because it's not defined.
Exactly.
But what's Nigerian? What's Somalian? What's Ghanaian? What's Kenyan? What's Congolese?
I tell you what.
What's South African?
You want to know what Somalian? You want to know what Somalian is? You want to know what Somalian is?
Labels, bro.
Somalian, look. Somalian is a one unity, one tribe name.
Yes.
The word Somali comes from a king called Somalia. Now, wait. The whole Somalia is the only country that is owned by one family, one tribe that diverts. One family, one root. They come back to the Dir tribe. D-I-R, yeah? Dir tribe. That's one family. So there's no way you're going to tell me where Somalia from when the word Somali is a king's name.
No, that's fine. That's fine. But the name Uganda. But the name Uganda has a similar origin.
No.
Wait.
The name Uganda was by a white man.
No, that's the point. That's the point. No, that's the point.
Right?
No, that's the point. The name
Nigeria is not a white man. It's a river of Nigeria.
No, that's the point. That's the point.
The Niger area that was written about. It was a white man.
It was a white man that put Nigeria. What are you talking about, my G? It was a white man that put Nigeria.
No, wait.
I'm trying to say, my G.
The Niger area.
Niger.
About the river.
It's an area is an English word.
As a
Nigerian. It's an English word. As a Nigerian. Not a Yoruba man. Not a Yoruba man. As a Nigerian.
As a Nigerian,
Are you Yoruba or Nigerian?
I would describe where I'm from rather than my tribe. You know what I'm saying? So I would say I'm from the Delta. Yeah. I'm a Delta man. I'm from Benin. You get what I'm saying? I'm Shakiri. That's my tribe. You get what I'm saying? So I know how to define myself. Hold on 1 second. Yeah. I know how to define myself. Yeah. As an African. I'll take that label, but I know how to define myself. And while I'm there, I know what my passport is. You're gonna go to Africa. You're gonna go to Africa and get kidnapped with this ideology.
I've been Africa, bro.
Not rocket science.
I've been Africa already, bro.
Strange to Africans.
I've been Africa already.
Strange to us.
I've been Africa already, bro. It works as you can't improve. It works as you can't
It's very strange.
Do you feel by what he's saying you were losing something? Why in Africa you been?
No, I've been Nigeria. I've been Ghana.
Everybody's entitled to their interpretation. We understand that the ideology he's following comes from the Americas.
No, it don't. That's the point I'm trying to make. You can't tell me that, fam. That's not the case.
I'm not saying
that's not the case.
Stop it.
But he's wrong.
Look, there's one thing.
What ideology? What ideology?
Where's Maku from?
There's one way we can agree with this guy.
He's from Jamaica first and foremost.
Yo.
No, hold on. And you meant hold on. on. Let's go there. Let's go there. Wait, let's go there. Let's go there. Wait, let's go there. Let's go there. Let's go there. No, let's go there.
I mentioned Malcolm X to Somalians.
Let's go there. We're just being clear. Let's go there. Let's go there. Let's go there. Let's go there. So hold on. Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey, wait, hold on. Marcus Garvey was from Jamaica, yeah? All right. Marcus Garvey's lineage, are the so-called Maroons.
Okay.
The Maroons, who are Ashanti people, among others, in the Caribbean.
That mixed with the
Hold on,
indigenous
please.
tribes of the land
Hold on, please.
that were
Hold on,
already
please.
there, the black
Hold on,
people of the
please.
land that were
Hold on,
already
please.
there.
Hold on,
So
please.
black.
Hold on, please. Because the fact of the matter is, it's not like you can't trace the lineage from. The culture was carried to the place. Yeah, people brought their culture with them. So you'll find Central African culture in Jamaica, in the Caribbean. Hold on, please.
You're being inconsistent again.
No, I'm not.
You're being inconsistent again.
I'm not.
You just said Ashanti. Where are the Ashanti
I'm not. No, you don't. Sometimes say, fam, you're being ridiculous at the moment. We all know. Hold on.
What's the name, the label they give?
We all know, Baji. Don't.
the country.
Fam, you're being disingenuous. We all know.
Ghana.
We all know. No, Ghana's today. Is what I'm trying to say, fam. You're
Right.
So, fam, no wait. Hold on. When Africans were being brought to the Caribbean, yes, the country today called Ghana did not exist.
What about Ashanti now?
Right? Hold on a second. Wait a second,
that's a
please.
false name too, innit?
Right? Ashanti people existed. Yes. You also had the Congo people existed. Igbo people existed. Yoruba people existed. Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
The name Ghana.
In Jamaica,
let me stop you for a minute. Because the name Ghana.
I didn't say that.
Is an Arabic word
I didn't say that.
which means riches. And
I didn't say.
The reason why they choose.
Man don't even know the language Africa, bro. Man, we're just arguing about this. But man don't even know
the name Ghana. Do you know the name Ghana?
I didn't say the word Ghana didn't exist, you know. I said
Ghana was known as Ghana.
I said the country that we now know today as Ghana did not exist. That's what I said. Hold on, man. Hold on.
But the land was known as Ghana.
Hold on.
The land was known as Ghana.
There was an empire.
My argument is simple. He wants unity in Africa, unity, right? We could do that in one way, in one simple way, and that is let's share borders. Let's trade. Let's share borders. All right, that's what we do right now. What happened is that system has been broken down by the white people, exactly by all the trouble things that happened by the Arabs. Now, and the Arabs.
Why can't we overturn that?
Now, what we could do right now, Somalia and Ethiopia and Eritrea are working on this. What we could do is that we could have separate countries, separate politics, but we could share same economy, same system, and same trade. That's it.
The value to the word Africa is from our country.
But you're making my point, Maji. You're making my point. But you're making my point.
We can never have just all of us as one because there's always been coups.
Exactly.
So again, it's
Africa.
just a
That's what I'm saying. But we're saying these things, you know. Hold on. We're saying. Wait, hold on.
Marcus Garvey and
Wait, hold on. But we're saying these things. We're saying these things.
Exactly.
We're saying
Exactly.
how
Exactly.
who has defined?
What was the story?
We're saying these
What was
things.
the point?
Bro, I'm not waiting for Marcus
Garvey.
Garvey to come back in
What
time
was
or
the
whatever.
point?
You don't have to, fam. You don't have to.
Either way, man, still
What
don't
was
know
the
where the
point?
name Africa
What were the Black Star Liners for?
Exactly.
Where were they going?
What was it
So
going?
what I'm saying, yeah?
Antarctica.
What I'm saying,
This is ridiculous.
Were they going to Antarctica?
regardless of any of that.
No, you can't do that, man.
Regardless of what is it we can't do?
Hold on, stop.
What is it we can't do?
Wait.
What is it we can't do?
No. Hold on a second. What's not gonna happen?
Yeah.
Man ain't gonna take tidbits, yeah, out of man's ideology.
Man's not taking
yeah,
none of
wait,
your
hold
ideology.
on. Yeah, and try to pull it up and make mockery out of the thing. And go and say, don't ask me no question about where the Black Lives gonna go, yeah.
Where what?
Hold on.
Where the what? Where the what?
Unless, because we're
Maybe you can't answer it, but
I didn't hear the...
So Maji, don't do that. Yeah. But because there's no need in it. Like, there's no need, Raji. There's no need for that, bro. There's no need for that, Raji. Yeah. Because the fact, if we're gonna go there, yeah, then we're gonna.
What are we talking about, bro? Fucking hell, bro.
If we're gonna do that,
Come on, bear going on, bro. Marcus Garvey a million times.
do all the things, Maji. That's what I'm talking about.
You knew this would happen. You knew
Fam, but if I was to, if we were talking about Black Star Line, we could talk about
So
Black
how
Star
have you
Line.
changed how you spoke
If
to
we
address
could talk
that?
about Black Star Line, we could talk about Black Star Line.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but right now,
the reason I need your
it took me an hour
But your
just to talk about
purpose-
what African means.
Exactly, that's why we need
Right?
a purpose.
And I'm saying,
You don't even know what Africa means, bro. Still. What are you talking about? You don't know what Africa means.
You're what I'm saying.
Talking about, bro.
Africa's a walking town.
You don't even know what language it is. We've established that. You don't know what the word means, bro.
Let me break it down.
None of us do.
Let me break it down. Yeah.
What it means for you, in your heart, and your ideology, and your identity that you've interwoven with this idea,
That's fine.
and you're not separating
That's
it.
fine.
But what I'm saying is, you don't even know where it's from.
But the fact of the matter is,
Africa.
But the fact of the matter is, there is no word that people use to define themselves that they didn't give meaning and interweave. Yeah, their meaning into no word whatsoever.
And none that you cannot
whatsoever.
go without.
No word
so
whatsoever.
what I'm saying is, there's no value in the word. It is in your attention. It is in the energy you give to the word.
Exactly.
You give life to
the
words.
value is in the attention.
No.
The value is in the attention. The value is in the attention.
Bro,
now,
you exist
Africa,
and you speak the word.
Where does it come from?
Get me?
Africa, where's it come from? Africa, where's it come from?
What, we don't know.
Africa, where's it come from?
What, the word?
Let me finish.
The word?
Let me finish.
What are you talking
Let
about,
me
bro?
finish. Let me finish.
You say finish 3 times.
Let me finish. All right. One of the major theories, about where the word Africa comes from.
Go on, fam. I want to hear your theory, man. I'm interested. I'm here to hear theories, man. Go on. Give me your theories.
Sorry, it's the word you use.
Brother, may I give you my opinion?
Give me your theories, man.
So it is, right?
Give me your theories, man. Give me your theories, bro. Major theories.
I'm not the date, fam.
Give me your theories,
I'm not the guy in it. I'm not the guy in
No
it.
matter what you say, there'll be another question that follows.
I know,
You
fam.
that, right?
Yeah.
So here's what I do, right?
Yeah.
I'm using Africa as a working title process.
This is
right?
what I'm trying to say.
I recognize that people who have been identified as black have been mistreated, right?
Yes.
And I think there's a value
Yes.
when those people come together
Yes.
to work on solutions.
Simple.
Now, in that process, we
Yes.
of course have Africa,
Yes.
Super 10,
Yes.
or whatever it is. But,
Yes.
but I'm saying the Igbo man, the Somali man,
Yes.
the Jamaican man,
Yes.
the animal man, and so forth.
Yes.
Let's come together. So that way, we can actually have tangible steps.
Yes.
Right now, I agree with what you're saying, the whole thing, but the problem is you're going to get these questions.
Now, what if I said to you, I'm part of an organisation, yeah?
There you go.
The organisation is called the Al-Kebulan Revivalist Movement.
Okay.
Al-Kebulan is one of the oldest names in historical records for the continent.
What does it mean?
Yes? There are different theories. Most people say that it means land of the black.
It's a thing, fam.
No,
So it don't matter anyway.
It don't matter.
It's a nice name.
This is what I'm
I like
saying.
that
What
name.
does it mean? But you know the reality is. You know the reality is, yeah? Right? Languages, yes, have histories, innit? And as languages evolve, like the English language, words take on different meanings. So when you're studying words, you will find different meanings to words as you go further back. People don't understand that. So when I say it has different meanings, man, I laugh like I'm chatting foolishness.
No one's
Well, go on, innit? It's cool, innit? It's cool. You get me?
No one's
Right?
laughing at that.
Hold on, right?
That's false.
So
No one's laughed at that,
when I say one of the theories for the origin of Africa, I said, man don't even know what he's talking about, fam. We're talking about theories. But man don't know what I'm saying.
I said, give me your theory.
Man don't know.
I said, give me your
It's not
theory.
my theory though,
It is.
fam.
Whose
It's
theory
not
is
my
it?
theory.
Whose theory is it?
It's not my theory
Whose
though,
theory is
fam.
it? Whose theory is
It's
it?
not my theory.
Bro.
It's not my. There are.
Whose theory is it? Whose theory is it? I'm asking you a question,
I'm saying,
whose theory is it?
it's not one individual theory. There are historians. There are historians and linguists that study this thing. So one of the major people that have brought forth this theory is Yusuf Ben Yakana. Yeah, who's an African from Ethiopia, right? Who comes with the Afrika origin, which is now Valley. Yeah, for Africa.
Yeah.
There are others who refute that somewhat and say it has more of a Central North African origin, yeah, which is what came up earlier with the Berbers and the Afir and them kind of things there. Some man say, like what the brother was trying to say earlier, that it's a Roman thing, yeah, which has been debunked because the man was called Africa because the place was already called Africa, so he got the name Scipio Africanus, which means conqueror of Africa. The place was already called Africa, so it didn't come from Romans, right? So some people, some people say that Affair is from Africa, and the word car was a Roman word for place, yeah. So they called it the place of the affairs. There are different theories, my G, right? But Africa is not an English word.
It don't have to be. It could have been Roman.
I agree.
Could have been Roman.
But in the consciousness of the people that came with the African-centered theology and philosophy, self-identification had to come from our own culture, yes, our own root, and so they find words that represent that. Yeah? So man will say, there are people that say we shouldn't call ourselves black, we should call ourselves Kem. Why? Because they studied and they understand that in the Nile Valley language, Kem means black. So they say, let's transfer the word black, I'll use the word Kem. Because Kem doesn't carry the negative connotations that the word black does. Cool. The point is, what's the intention behind the thing? And the intention is, yeah, let us self-define as a people with a shared experience and a shared origin, yes? And most importantly, yeah, what can be
We don't
a
have shared
destiny.
experience. We don't have shared origin.
Bare misinformation.
You can
We
say
don't.
that.
We
innit?
don't have shared
You
experience.
can say that.
And we don't all have shared origin.
That's
So that's a
misinformation.
fallacy. That's a fallacy,
It's
bro.
misinformation, you know.
You can turn your back on me still. You can turn your back. You can turn your back on me still, bro.
Because
Get
the
me?
content of the
Carbon. Also, look.
Save, man. Save my brother.
What's carbon? What's carbon? What's
Save,
carbon?
save, save my brother.
What's
Save.
carbon?
Save
What's
my
carbon?
brother. Save.
What's
You
carbon?
can turn your back on me
What's
still.
carbon?
Hey, what I'm saying? That was nice. No, and he just went, yeah, boom. That's it, Joe. No, I do it all the time still. I hear that. It's a good technique still, especially when you hear what man's saying. Bro, none of us are arguing and we all come to that common point.
It's cool,
where
Maggie.
we all come to the common place where we all agree on the one thing, innit? That regardless of what it's called, man have to do the works. Regardless of what you want to call that person, you might want to call someone something and they don't see themselves as it.
What's the works? What's the works?
The work is freedom, fam.
So what's freedom?
from an
What's
oppressive
freedom?
system.
What's freedom? And who has
You're
to be
right,
free? Who's being oppressed and who's not being oppressed?
Oh, like,
Everybody.
How many millions of questions are you asking me, fam?
That's
Everyone is being oppressed.
What are we?
Everybody is
What are
being
we? What are we?
oppressed. Fam, everyone is being oppressed. You have to show me.
Colonization.
Everyone.
What are we? What are we? What are we?
Everybody is. What are you?
What are we?
What are you?
That's the point I'm trying to make.
What are you?
I define myself,
Yeah.
not just as an individual,
Okay.
but as a part of a collective.
Okay, so when you're born in a cave,
So the more-
when you're born in a cave, or you wake up into reality and you realize that you're in a cave and you're abandoned, you can associate with as many imaginary people as you
But
want.
I still
but
have
you
a
will be
mother and a
alone.
father.
And this is the reality.
But I still have a mother and a
You do,
father.
But they may
Nobody's
pass
born
away.
alone. Nobody's
They may
born
not be
alone.
there.
Nobody's born alone.
But they may not be
Nobody's
there.
born alone. All people have a lineage and a heritage.
Bro, Josiah.
All people
Josiah. Yesterday we
have
met.
a lineage and a
Yesterday
heritage.
we met Josiah. Yeah. Josiah's a boy who was born 4 days after his dad's funeral.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is
He
what
still
I'm
has a
saying.
father.
So what I'm saying is
has
he
a
may
father.
have no knowledge of his father.
That's- yes.
Yeah? So to grow up and say who are we?
Yes.
No, it's who am I? Because you could
So,
be in a
alright,
position.
so-
You understand?
so how
and
do you
whoever
define
you are
that?
might not be who I am.
So how do you define that? How do you go about defining who you are as an
It's
individual?
not about. It's not about.
How?
It's not about.
How?
Not by.
No,
You know what?
how?
By removing the labels given to you by others.
But that doesn't even make sense.
It does.
Because you went
does. When you identify, listen, hear this. When you are identifying who you are,
Yes.
yeah,
How?
you must remove all social constructs
How?
and all other.
How?
Listen, this is the thing,
No, I'm
fam,
asking
yeah?
how. I'm asking. It's a genuine question.
Fam, hear what I'm saying, fam.
How?
Hear what I'm saying, fam.
Okay.
Hear what I'm saying. Hear what I'm saying, fam.
Yes.
Right about now,
Yes.
you think that you are Shaka.
there
You
was a
think
name
that
I
you
forgot.
are.
No, I know who
Okay.
Al Shakara.
So this is the thing. This is the
forgot.
thing.
I know what Shakara
This is the thing.
means.
This is the thing. But bro, none of this would have applied had you grown up in a cave on your own. Fam. All of these things are things that you have. I beg man, understand who you are. Know who you are inside. It's not your title. It's not Shaka. It's not black. It's not deeper than that.
No, it's not too deep. It's not too deep.
You are a spiritual
What's a spiritual being?
having a physical
What is a spiritual being?
experience, fam.
What is a spiritual being?
You are conscious.
What is a spiritual being?
You're talking about the all and what we are one.
What is a
We
spiritual
are
being?
one. Come on, man.
One at a time. One at a time.
What is a spiritual being? Jedi, what's a spiritual being? Teach, what's a spiritual being?
You're more than this flesh. You're more than this flesh.
Fine, what more am I? What's a spiritual being?
That's what you are. That's what you
What's
need
a spiritual being?
to. When you find
What
that
is
out,
spiritual being?
when you find that out,
Yeah.
when you find out what
Yeah.
is more than the flesh,
Yeah.
within yourself,
Shakara.
when you find that out,
Shakara.
you labelled it that.
Yeah.
You labelled it that.
Shakara.
When you find that out,
Yeah.
cool.
Shakara.
You keep pointing to the body.
Yeah, no, I'm putting it into, because you did this, you know,
in you.
what's more
It's
than the
in you.
flesh?
It's in you.
What you said to me, what you said, what's in me in it? What's in me in it?
I said you are a spiritual
Yes, what's spiritual being?
entity having a
What's
physical
a spiritual
experience.
entity? What is it?
More than the flesh.
What is it?
That's when I pointed to you.
What is it?
That's when I pointed to you.
What is it?
I never said you're the flesh. I said you're more than the
But
flesh.
you said it's in you. It's in you.
No, you're more than the flesh.
Yeah, but it's in me,
No,
innit?
it don't have to be in you.
Hey, listen,
It don't have to be in
let
you.
me say something
It don't
to
have to
you.
be in you.
Look, I like what you're doing.
You know what it is? No, wait, hold on, wait.
You can feel what's in you.
No, wait.
Let me finish
No.
something quick, yeah? I like what you're doing.
Yes.
The movement of unity, one Africa is nice, yeah? But let me tell you the truth, bro. It's never gonna happen between you.
Fine.
That is the truth.
You define that in your head.
I tell you
That's
what.
never gonna happen.
I
That's
tell you what, I
fine.
tell you
You
what.
define that.
Africans are saying that.
No, I tell you what.
Africans are
Yeah,
saying
I
that.
tell you,
I'm not African.
No, I'm saying,
Let me tell you what.
I'm not African.
Man with an accent.
Yeah.
Man with accent. Man is telling you.
Yeah.
But you don't care.
Man with accent.
You want to quote someone like Ben whatever and say, oh, he's Ethiopian. He's Ethiopian. Yeah, that mattered then. That mattered. When you was making your point about Dr. Ben, 1 second. When you was making your point,
Don't try it.
When you was,
Don't
I'm
try
not
it.
trying it. It's truth.
You are trying it.
It's truth. When you was making your point about Dr. Ben,
Why not say that?
Listen.
Why not say that?
You do everything, bro. When you was making your point about Dr. Ben, you made a point.
Anyone who's black, put their hand up.
Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, great. 1 second.
Yeah, go on.
You made a point.
Yeah.
Dr. Ben.
Yeah.
Is it Ethiopian?
Yeah. Why did I say that? Why?
That's what he did. Is it Ethiopian? That's what he did.
Why?
That's what he did.
Why did I
And
say
the
that?
reason you
Why
said
did I say that? Why did I say that?
it adds some authenticity.
Why did I say that?
It adds some
Why did I
authenticity.
say that?
I'm saying. It adds some authenticity.
No, that's not what I said it. That's not what I said it.
It adds some authenticity.
That's not why I said
Okay,
it.
Let me finish the sentence. It adds some authenticity, to the claims about anything to do with African history when you're saying he's an African.
Because you're running away
That's not
from
why I
the
said
European
it.
text.
That's not why I said it.
That's really
That's not why I
in
said
your
it.
mind.
You man spent the whole conversation telling me about Africans in Africa that don't identify as a certain thing.
With the word Africa, yeah.
Right?
With the word
Right.
Africa.
So when
They
I
don't speak that
so when I
language.
say, so when I say,
You
and
don't
so when
know anything.
So when I say,
about
so when I say that, when I bring up examples,
Yeah, we said that. We said that.
When I bring up,
we said that.
when I, but I just gave the example.
We're not black. What colour are we?
But I just gave the examples, you know. But I just gave the examples, you know.
African in the colour.
Man, I can't believe that man are seriously telling me, you know, that Africans in Africa don't identify as African. That's what man telling me, you know. That is what man telling me right now. I don't understand.
I know I'm right.
Man are telling me that Africans in Africa do not identify as African.
There's a reason why.
As African.
That's the point that you can no one's going to agree. No one's going to realize.
He knows it. He knows
Man are
that.
telling me that, you know.
He knows that. He's not saying he don't know that.
What's that?
About people didn't identify themselves as African before they more identify with their tribes. And he knows.
200 years ago, people in Africa did not say I'm black.
Fam, there was a time, I agree with you, there's a time when whatever tribe you're going to give me right about now, people didn't identify as that either.
Yeah.
Right, so the point is that identities,
so
and hold a second, and there are people who believe that the people of the continent of Africa, Africa may not have been the word, but did identify as one person. Right, there are people who study history, hold on one second, that was before the idea that there was a time before we identify. What did I I don't want this to go forward.
You don't want it? You don't like it?
No, I support the Somali pirates. Big up Somali pirates. Right?
Somali flag.
Yeah, I know,
Don't smash up. Your bag is
I'm saying that it didn't come from. I'm saying
You don't know where it
I'm saying, but no, I'm saying I have an idea.
I know, but brother, that's, see, now come on now.
You're being silly.
No, you're being silly.
You're right.
We don't know where it comes from. We don't know what it means. So you're saying it didn't come from the colonials. You're saying you didn't. Listen, you're saying it didn't come from the colonials. Yeah. You just said that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying that.
But you don't know where it comes from.
I'm saying, based on what we know they come from there.
No, that's not I'm going to tell you why it must have came from there. Because look, everyone is black inside Africa.
What if I told you, yes, that there are people, listen.
Morpheus mode.
Hold on, no, what is the point I'm trying to make? What if I told you, not necessarily, yeah? What if I told you, yes, that there are people, right? For example, you see that the people talk about Africa, yeah?
Thank you, man. Come on, because the man's at home making it. Okay, this from the shadow. Yeah, shout from here, innit?
Right?
Let's come this way.
What I'm saying is, alright, for example, yeah, they say Africa's got millions of languages, right? There are people, African linguists, yeah, that are studying African languages, that I say there's no. One sec. I'll ask that in a second. Right? That are teaching, yes, that all these languages they say exist in Africa, yeah, they're not millions of different languages, yeah, they're actually dialects of a few different languages. Today, they're called many different languages. Why? Because people over.
Somali's a dialect.
No. What I'm saying.
The language Somalia has different dialects.
Right?
Yeah, I know.
But I'm saying, I am saying that much of what we call different languages today are dialects of larger language groups. Yes?
It's not the argument done, bro. Don't lie. We're the argument done, bro.
So the point is, there was a time, yes, when the people that are speaking.
Don't say that though. They weren't. No, because you
For
told me not to
example,
say nothing.
yeah, there are various
No, you told me
Bantu
not to.
languages today.
You told me to stop speaking.
Right?
You just getting like you weren't listening to me no more. You said every time I spoke, you said stop speaking.
These are not all different languages.
Because you don't want to chat to me.
Right, hold on.
Because you told me to stop, fam.
But it's like, for example, for example,
I won't agree with you. I kept talking. You told me to stop.
There are various different European
All 4
languages.
times I tried to speak to you.
But
You was
all
like,
of them.
Stop.
I
Cool.
thought you wanted
Yeah,
to
me.
argue
Try to stand on me.
Germanic, Latin, or Slavic.
Yeah, but they have common origin.
No.
I'll give you a chat.
I don't mean that like that. I don't mean that like that. You did make the point. The point was stop talking to me.
But you're saying Africans about Africa, like unconscious. Have you heard of Crazy Bra
Stop
before?
talking to you. Because you're out of point.
Have you heard of Crazy Bra before? Crazy Bra.
Your point was.
Okay, he's an African.
Your point was.
Yeah, that taught me these things. Okay, so I'm not an African. I'm not a non-African. Teaching Africans about Africa. Let me make this clear.
You know the lion, this is a European symbol.
You know the funny thing is, yeah, he's telling me I'm not going to teach Africans about Africa, right? Hold on. But this whole conversation is about whether we should call it, whether Africans in Africa identify Africans or not. But I'm not going to teach Africans about Africa.
Stop doing that. That was the whole conversation.
Right? But hold on. But when I say
that weren't the whole conversation.
But when I say that there are Africans from Africa that are teaching me these things,
yeah, we agree.
They're not Africans.
No one said that.
Okay,
Who said that?
fine.
Who said
So
that?
then don't bring me that then. Don't bring me that then.
Who, him?
Don't bring me that. Don't bring me that. First of all, I'm an African. And we as Africans
Where are you from?
are having a conversation.
Okay, where are you from in Africa?
My lineage, yeah, on my father's side is Ashanti.
Where are the Shanties?
They reside in Ghana and Burkina Faso
are you
and a few other. No, I am an African. Because on my mother's side. One second, no, wait.
Go to Ghana. Is that what they're gonna say?
Because yes, I've been to Ghana and said it.
So
Yes,
you say, I get to Ghana.
I've been to Ghana and said it.
And what you speak?
I have
Ghanaian,
been
yeah?
to Ghana and said it.
And they have a Ghanaian word that means hello.
There are no.
African.
There's no language called Ghanaian. There is Sri. There is Ga. Yeah. There is Ewe. There's no Ghanaian language.
So in those languages, that's what I'm asking you.
I have.
How do you say African in those languages?
Yeah.
Say again?
How do you say African in Tree?
There's in Tree. Our brother, so one of the major Tree speakers teaches this term called Abibi. Yeah. Abibi means black people.
That's not African then. So that's
It's
not
Tree.
African.
It's Tree.
It's not African then.
It's Tree.
So Abibi, but Africa and African doesn't mean black people. Yeah? So what I'm saying to you, fam, yeah? Abibi means black people. I never asked you how to say black people. I asked you how to say African.
Yes, but so what is but if my definition of African is black people, then I've said the same thing.
Huh? You can't. Yeah, but you can't say, you're Nigerian and Yoruba.
How do you say
But
Nigerian and
can't say
Yoruba?
it. You can't
How do you
say
say
it.
Nigerian and Yoruba?
I'm not saying, is there not a word
How do you say Nigerian and
There
Yoruba?
probably isn't, because you don't need
How
to.
do you say Nigerian and
If you're Yoruba,
How do you say Nigerian and Igbo?
identify as
How do you say
Yoruba.
Nigerian and Igbo?
You don't have to identify with
How
that.
do you say
though.
Nigerian and Igbo?
It's the point we're saying, fam. We're agreeing, but then it's like
No.
It's different for
What I'm challenging is
Nigeria
you
can
lot
go
telling
with
you lot are
Africa,
telling me that
Nigeria and Africa,
I'm not going to tell Africans about Africa.
No,
Because I'm not an African,
I never said that.
Right?
I never said that.
That's what he said, you know.
I never said that.
That's
Yeah,
what he
but
said.
you're talking.
Right?
I said
you're
I'm
talking
not
to a group of people.
Hold on,
That's what he said.
I did say.
That's what he
Hold
said.
on, one second.
Don't misrepresent
Don't
me.
misquote me as well.
I didn't say you said
Don't
it.
misquote me.
Alright,
Don't
please, 'cause that weren't
misquote me.
me.
I didn't
Don't
say
misquote me. I said non-diaspora. You're African, yes. But you're not from the diaspora like that. You already confessed that.
He's from the diaspora. You're not from the diaspora.
He's from the diaspora.
It's the other way around. The other way around.
I am an African, my
The
G.
diaspora is those
On my mother's side, yeah, I have Yoruba lineage. Yeah, the point is,
How did you find this lineage out?
my mum did a DNA test.
Oh.
Right? What's it called? Hold on. Right?
Right.
No. Hold on. Wait. Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
But no, wait. Hold on. Wait. I'm not finished. I'm not finished.
You never send your blood to the white man. Tell me you never send your blood. And he told you where you came from.
Oh, don't defend that.
Yeah.
Don't defend that, Jess.
On my dad's side,
Come on.
my family just know. Yeah. On my dad's side, it's a
Doesn't
fast.
come from the white man's DNA test.
Jedi, finish.
And you done it
Jedi,
yourself.
Listen.
Tell me Dr. Ben or one of your black
Listen.
scholars
Listen.
done the DNA thing for you.
Jedi, listen.
Tell me that.
Listen, Jedi. No, I'll tell you.
You are African, and I know you're African.
I'll tell you.
You're African.
I'll tell you.
Because you want to be.
I'll tell you.
And that's it.
I'll tell you. On my
And it
dad's
matters
side,
to you.
I'll tell you. On my dad's side,
It's cool.
my family just know.
No,
It's
I rate
passed on for the
that.
life. Yeah, my family just know.
On the mum's side, it's DNA test.
No, my mother the other day wanted to find out certain things, so she found out.
So on the dad's side, because they have family still in Africa.
My family passed it, and you have many
from the Caribbean.
Oral history.
My dad's side of the family is from Jamaica. My mother's side is from Antigua. Yes? Our people were among those who were kidnapped from West Africa.
So was I being
Hold
disingenuous?
Hold on.
Was I being disingenuous when I said you're an African, but you're a non-diasporan?
No, you're...
What are we talking about?
Oh, outside, okay. You're from... He is a diaspora.
Now you have to explain to me.
My bad.
You have to explain to me. You have to explain to me. You have to explain to me.
How did you know it was Ghana?
You have to explain to me. No, I didn't say Ghana. I said Ashanti.
How did you know that? How did you know that?
Family, this is just what's been passed down from my family line.
So, like, I mean, no, you don't need to know. You don't need to. I'm just trying to understand.
There are many families.
You don't know, but
there are many people, yes, who have in their lineage people that tell the story about where the people come from. So you can, in my father's line, yes, they will tell you, and you can often tell by looking at the culture of the people. So Ashanti culture, the remnants of it, the evolution of it is strong in Jamaica. So you can identify that Ashanti people are strong there. In Trinidad, you find a lot of Yoruba culture. In Brazil, you find a lot of Yoruba culture. In Cuba, you find a lot of Yoruba culture. It doesn't mean that all the people are Yoruba.
Should you not be?
Right? Oh, wait, answer the question. You have to tell me now why what I am saying as an African from the diaspora, yes, is less valid than what African says from the continent.
You answered your own question.
No, I haven't. I'm asking your question.
But don't you think you answered your own question?
No.
Think about it.
No.
Yes. Man's from there.
Yeah.
Man lived there.
Yeah.
Man grow there.
Yeah.
His whole family's there.
Your family.
Yeah.
But you're outside.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The diaspora. Yeah?
Yes.
You're in the Caribbean.
Okay.
Blah blah blah.
So by your logic, yeah, being born on the continent means that you inherently must know more about the continent and the history of the continent.
No.
Right then. Okay then. I'm glad we agree on that point. So then you telling me, yeah, that I'm not going to tell the African about Africa is a moot point, my G. Because it is. You know why?
It's been proven.
You know why?
It's been proven.
You
know what? What I would say is.
Why is
I don't agree with that point, Mike. Yeah.
Why is that?
The reason is that one of the best teachers that I had about African history, if you want to say it, was a man from Trinidad who was well studied. Now, whatever he's teaching me, I could take that as fact. Right about now, I'm of a different mindset. Them days what I'm saying, listen, fam. There's no argument here.
No, I'm not arguing.
So let me just
Go on.
Right about now, fam, yeah, anybody can teach anybody about anything. Is it factual? This is where we have to say, do you know what? We need to ease off that, I know this and I know that, and that he knows.
I didn't say I know.
He knows
what I don't know.
He knows he's a
What I don't know.
But he doesn't have proof.
Can I say something?
He doesn't have proof. Yeah. You understand? Yeah. He knows his mark. Like, you know you're Ashanti, but you don't have proof.
No.
Well, you know what I'm saying, isn't it, fam? Because you don't have no family that live there.
But why
you don't have no family there.
Your point is flawed, Maji.
He knows he's Nigerian.
I don't have
he knows
to
he's
have,
from Nigeria, and you know why? Because his family is still living there.
I don't have to have.
You understand?
And the fact of the matter is,
all I'm saying
I do have family that live there. I just don't know who they are. That's the reality of the situation. That is the reality of being an African from a place like Jamaica. Yeah, that's the reality.
What you're talking about, I agree with you. But what he's talking about, that is the idea.
You get kidnapped from a place here. You know your family's still there. That's not a question.
Bro.
Not everyone in the Caribbean came from Africa.
No, what I'm saying is,
and not every black person or someone you want to.
I didn't say everybody, you know.
Black, yeah.
You said everybody.
African. So what I'm saying is, yeah, even though this is the majority story of the people from the land that you.
All right, let's deal with the majority. Let's deal with the majority.
Even though it doesn't make it a fact for you. It's all belief system.
But you can't tell me. No, you can't. That's what I'm saying.
Let me tell you what.
Because you can't tell me what you're doing.
Let me show you what you're doing.
Shall I dig up a picture?
Let me tell you what you're doing.
Let me show you what the Maroons look like. Let me show you what the Maroons look like. The Maroons, the African slaves, the African rebellion slaves went and intermarried and intermixed with. Let's go and look at what them Maroons look like.
Because everybody was intermarried and intermixed. This guy.
You don't know that.
Shaka.
You don't know that.
What you're trying to explain?
The rebels mixed with the Indians that were there, the so-called Indians, and the Tainos. You know what the Tainos look like? You say
I don't know, no.
I'm saying you know that, right?
Of course,
so why are you playing games?
No, I'm not playing games, but you're talking as though every black people man just went there and married a Taino. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense, my G.
But you're giving the blanket, bro.
It don't make no sense.
I'm trying to explain where you come from. I'm trying to explain your
It don't make no sense.
Let me explain.
Go ahead.
You see what he explained about Trinidad.
Reason's laughing at what I'm
Hold on,
saying.
one second.
And I'm saying,
One second.
Raven. No, you can laugh. Yeah.
1 second.
Yeah.
This is why there's a problem.
When I'm describing
Go on.
Hold on, this is why there's a problem. Yeah.
Man's talking the realness, my G.
Out of my love
Man's
for you,
talking
what
the
I'm saying
realness.
is,
Come on, don't love me, you know. Man don't love me, you know. It's love for you, you know.
That's what I'm
Man
saying.
don't love me, you know. Man don't love me, you know. Man don't love me.
Hold on 1 second.
No, it's just
The idea,
no.
hold on, the idea that you're dealing with, comes from
Pentagram.
turn it right way around.
Big up Somali, big up Somaliland. Big up Somali.
The idea,
Pentagram.
Big up the pirates, them.
Pentagram.
Nah, fam, you know what though? Can I just say, yeah? The man that was on them boats, yeah? That was dealing with the thing, I rate them man there differently. I rate them man there. Yeah, I rate them man there.
Now he's on the boat.
I'm a Somali pirate, fam. I'm not only African, I'm a Somali pirate, my G.
the reason there's a problem.
The
reason there's a problem.
The Somalis won't let you say
and
that you're one of them.
I kind of agree with my
You're
brother.
bad too,
I'm good looking, fam.
Red Kushik.
Nah, I stand with them, fam. I support that move there. Trust me.
The reason there's a problem.
What's this bantu there? Ask him how the bantus are treated out.
Go ahead.
It's because
Equal rights. Equal rights in
I
Somalia.
never come to talk today,
You
though.
know why that's there's anarchy.
So,
you know, in this country there's no police and there's nothing.
Let the brother finish. It's right. Go on, talk.
So, what I understand, is that the Pan-African movement, right, which has started with Marcus Garvey.
No, it didn't. That's the point I
before
made.
him,
It didn't. Yes.
Now, one of the individuals who founded it came from Trinidad, yes or no?
Henry Sylvester Williams.
Yeah?
Yes.
Came from Trinidad.
No.
So this is why we
And you're wrong.
understand
And you're
what
wrong.
say. No. Bro, it's a pyramid. Hold on 1 second.
Telling us all to fuck off and you just slide
One
back.
second.
I'm actually right, man.
It's a pyramid. Hold on. It's a pyramid of information, right?
Why you say that?
This is a pyramid of information.
Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like a triangle.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've got the Americas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You've got Trinidad. You know what I'm saying? With Survivor, Jamaica. So yeah, but mainly
So
Trinidad.
you're saying Africans were involved in Pan-Africanism?
Africa.
Yeah.
As in the free slaves of places like Freetown.
Yeah.
And Liberia.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And where did that Liberian slave come? America. You understand? So this is a pyramid of information, yeah.
Yeah, but
that has
you're
been
missing out.
running
You're missing
for
out things.
a long while.
But you're missing out a
You
lot
know
of
what I'm
things.
saying?
But you're missing out a lot of
But
things.
it's not.
Have you heard of Casey Hayford?
Bro,
But have you heard of Casey Hayford?
It's not gonna be.
But have you heard of Casey Hayford?
One thing about Africans, for thousands of years, we've had institutes of learning.
Nah.
Right, so I can't listen to anything a European says. As
I'm not. But you heard me mention a European all to this day. All till now, you haven't mentioned a European.
So,
But
my
whenever
point
I
is-
mention
my
that,
point
whenever
is-
I mention from
my
the
point
continent,
is-
you tell me.
My point is,
It's a joke to you.
you're not dressed
I
or
ain't
thing like a
mentioned-
Ghanaian.
Oh my days.
Are you? An Ashanti or your tribe? Are you? A little Kente?
Fam, I wear African gloves all the time.
Yeah.
You know, fam, I went to college with this man, yeah? I won't go to college, fam. I've been wearing African gloves since I was down there, fam. Yeah? Every day, fam. It's not a joke, fam. It's not let's not go there, my G. We can do that. We can do that, my G. Yeah? Fam, my wardrobe is full of African gloves, my G.
So what's this? Is this
From
Ghanaian?
From all over.
Is this Ghanaian?
Yeah, no, but man ain't dealing with just one aspect of the
I
country.
don't understand.
But hold on. But you're asking.
Hold on, wait.
But you're asking a ridiculous conversation.
No, because you identify as
Fam, if man can wear a t-shirt, if man can wear a shirt,
you identify as Ghanaian.
Man can wear a buba.
Hold on.
Man can wear Shaka. Man can wear agbada.
You identify, with Ghana, and then you also
No, I didn't.
identify with
No, I identify as
Ethiopia.
Africa. As African.
There's no such thing as that, bro. Come on.
But they're not such thing as Nigerian. They're not such thing as Ghanaian. They're not such thing as South African.
Okay, then what?
They're not such thing as Congolese.
So then what are we dealing with?
We're dealing with a liberation philosophy. That's what we're dealing with. So a man says, you know what?
African philosophy.
You know what? Have you heard of Casey Hayford before? He is one of the pioneers of the philosophy of Pan-Africanism. Born and raised in Ghana. Yes? Alright? He's not the only one. Yeah? But even before that, because the term Pan-Africanism was coined in 1900. Yeah? The ideas, like we did before, the ideas, listen, come again now. Jedi, listen to this. You like this? Jedi, you like this? You like this? You like this? You like this? The term Pan-Africanism comes about in 1900. the ideas, that were defined under the label Pan-Africanism pre-existed in 1900. Long time.
The only pan I
So
deal
if I
with
say
is pancake and steel pan.
So if I say,
I'm not in a no pan.
you know what? I deal with the pan. I deal with the pan.
and pancake.
I deal with the pan. I deal with the pan.
What does that mean?
I don't know about pan.
People use English language.
Right.
Who is
Good
pan?
question. Good question.
Not what is pan.
Good
Who is
question.
pan?
Good question. This is a good question.
Who is pan?
This is a good question. Yeah? It's a good question.
Who is pan?
What language is pan in?
Yeah. It's a good question.
Right, it's
And-
Greek. Thank you,
Right,
brother.
it's a Greek word.
Right.
It's a Greek word.
Pan-African.
Who is pan?
It's a good question.
Brother.
No. See, I know where you're going.
Yeah, I know where
I know where you're going.
Pan and African. We already
I know where you're going.
3 hours on the
I know where you're
African.
going. But I'm not calling myself Nigerian, and it's nothing. Yeah, I'm not calling myself Nigerian, but it's nothing. A man can be South African, and it's nothing. But a man can be Pan-African. Hold on, let's deal with it.
Let's study.
Let's deal with it. Let's deal with it. No, because yeah, but leave the devil alone, you know, my G. The devil's a liar, you know.
No one said devil.
The devil's a liar, you know. The devil's a liar, you know.
Screaming pan.
Right, let's deal with
Screaming
it.
pan, bro.
Yeah, let's deal with it. Let's deal with it. Let's deal with it. All right. Pan.
I said advocate, you know, fam. You're quick with it.
Pan in the Greek and the Latin means all. Yes. There is also a deity in the Greek that means that's called Pan.
Okay. What does he look like?
Hold on. Wait, no. Because what you have to now prove to me.
No, because you gotta put that.
No, hold on.
African.
Wait. No, that's the point. No, I'm not.
You give the idea,
No. Hold on. Exactly. Because a man just went through the whole thing here, tell you about the label don't matter here, the label don't matter. But now we're gonna lock down the word pan. Alright? Wait a second.
An hour.
Hold on. Wait, let me finish. Because
That's what I get to. Community.
because no wait, hold on. Because a man needs to know.
I gotta teach first.
Because, no, but what you have to understand, yeah, like all things in ideology, yeah, there's an evolution in terms of the thing. Because there are many people, yeah, in the Pan-African movement, yeah, that are saying we need to find words in our indigenous languages to define what we're dealing with. When we're speaking in English or to English-speaking people or people that speak European languages, we use certain terminologies.
What about it?
If I said to you, Ma'at Ubuntu man, would you know what I'm talking about? What am I talking about?
You're talking about the system.
Did I mention Amen?
So you know what Ma'at means? Yeah? But I said Ma'at Ubuntu man. Yeah? Would you know what that means?
I don't know about the Buntu.
Right, this is what I'm trying to make.
What
So I'm
language is
saying,
that?
the point is, it comes to
Ashanti?
it comes to the Bantu languages. The point is,
Now you're Bantu.
no, I didn't say now I'm Bantu. This is what I'm saying. All right, I didn't say that.
you're
I
all over
didn't
the
say
place,
that.
cuz.
This is what I'm saying. You're not listening, Maji. You're not listening.
Pan.
You're not listening.
Who's dealing with
You're
pan?
not listening, Maji. You're not
Someone's got to
listening.
get that.
I know that, man. Liberty, man. I need to that, man.
Yeah, the people that define Pan-Africanism
It's how you
said,
think. You
firstly,
never be nothing but allow it,
firstly, we're all African,
Move
innit?
it for what?
Yeah.
Do you mind
again?
that it's on your head, fam? Do you mind
You're a
that?
joker.
Do you mind that thing's on your head? That's this big green thing on your head. I don't even know, fam.
Fam, I don't know, but man can't see my head in it. So one of my brothers that love me in it, then just sort me out in it. So that's simple, you get me?
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? Sort me out in it. It's not on my head, just sort me out in it. You know what I mean? Sort me out in it. No, that's good. Get me? So the point that I'm making is that in a certain point in the development, because people are speaking English, so we find a word or a terminology that deals with, that speaks to the intention of the thing. All African. So a man's looking to unify all African people. He finds language that means all African, and many of the people that he's dealing with are English-speaking people. So we use that terminology. We develop. The other time we used to call it slavery. Somebody comes up and says, you know
Why
what?
did we use pan? Why didn't we use the African word instead of pan?
Because
Why
at
didn't
that,
you say-
we're dealing with
Why
and if they use hold on, and if they use the African word,
He didn't speak Greek, did he?
and if they use the
No,
African
he
word,
spoke English. And
if they use the African word, you know what?
English
I'm not going there. You know why? You know why? Because if I gave you a Yoruba word for it,
a lot of language.
if I give you a Yoruba word for it, you're gonna tell me about. So what about the Zulu people then? Can they identify as that? What about the Congolese people then?
Okay.
Banda. Yeah, Banda.
We already established. We already established.
Fam, if you're gonna ask the question, ask for overstanding. No, for real. What I'm saying, this is what I'm trying to say. The idea was unify African people for the sake of African liberation. That's what it was. So they found a terminology that makes that. It's that simple. In the evolution of things, once again, in the evolution of things, I agree, I agree, right? But in the evolution, but man, that's the question. In the evolution of things, people come up with, as a part of the movement, they will say, you know what? It's time we do away with this Pan-African terminology. It was useful for when it was useful, but we need to evolve out of that into something that's completely self-defining. Right? That happens. That happens.
All of them man are Greeks. Greek fraternity man. All of them man that is going to come over and study and do the Greek fraternity thing.
So
that's what it was,
All Greek memorabilia.
Man don't know, you know. Man don't know, you know.
So what are you about then?
Man don't know. So what are you about? What's your thing? What's your thing?
Pan-Africanism is
They don't have nothing. If they do, they don't label it, fam. There's no labels around there, you know. Man just living it. What's living it?
You know what, man?
Living it's a label, isn't it?
Hold on.
Living it's a label, you know. Living it's a label.
That's a dumb question.
Exactly. It is a dumb question.
You know what, man?
It is.
Don't tell me about
it. It is a dumb question. It is. You know what man's on as well. You know what man's on as well. You do, fam. You do.
I'm hearing what you're on, and I'm loving it, but I don't know what you're on. You can't do that, bro.
Fine.
I don't know what you're on.
Let's reason. Let's
unite.
Practical shit. Let's reason.
What are you on?
Let's reason.
I wish I could though.
All right.
At the basis though, Pan-Africanism about the idea
Break it
of
down, my G.
all Africans.
Break it down.
I'm just saying to you, if you disagree with that, yeah, for sure. So if you disagree with that, what would you put across?
Hold on. Are you from Africa though? Are you from Africa? You can't say anything.
What would you put across as an alternative to that?
Break it down. No, ask the question. Ask the question.
Is that ideal? The whole system.
How are we going to unite each other and how are we going to build each other?
There we go. That's it. So how are we going to unite and build each other?
Forget the title, forget the name.
Fine. I agree.
With African concepts.
Ask the question.
So which part of Africa?
Ask you that question. Ask you that question.
You're not teaching us nothing. You don't need your help. You need our help. You need to come home and open your eyes.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that then. Let's talk about that directly.
I'm ready. Where are you? The Africans outside Africa thinking they're not Africa.
You know what's that's on my head.
You know what, man? I'm about to put your words in your mouth right now, innit? You know what, I'm about to put your words in your mouth.
Let's calm it down. Let's calm it down. It's one person at one time, innit?
19.
But right now it's messy. And no one can hear nothing.
The label. So a minute ago, the thing existed before the label. The label's not important.
Did we exist before the label and what you're talking about?
So what do you stand on there, brother?
That's a good question.
Not a good question.
It is a good question. It's a brilliant question. Because in the sense of the fact that when you're looking at the inspiration behind the ideology and how it develops, the philosophy of Pan-Africanism teaches, that the people of the continent had the tendency to grow from smaller confederations, of social organization to larger ones, prior to colonization, prior to slavery, and all these things. And it was the invasion first, by various people, but most notably by the Arabs and then the Europeans, that stopped that particular tendency from happening. So the idea is that people that come from this land, let us return to that modality of social organization, going from smaller groups to larger groups. This was going on all over the continent. That's why you had empires on the continent.
All over.
All right, that's good. Now, how do we do that practically?
Through understanding. The first thing that you have to do is identify who the race you talk about. What, right? The first, all liberation movements identify the people who they try to liberate.
Practical.
No, we haven't. That's the point I'm trying to make. We haven't.
So once you identify them, what do we do next then?
Right. Then you organize around that identification.
Cool. Yeah.
So a man. So you ask. You develop an ideology out of the identity. And you identify the principles and the values that relate to that ideology and the liberation effort that is being enacted.
Step 3.
Yes? Step 3 is that you act upon it.
Okay.
Yes? That's all it is.
So let's build on the second.
Hold on, but that's the same thing I was
What do you
saying.
mean? Break it down. Building it how?
What was the second one that you said? Say the second thing.
So identity, you develop an ideology around the identity.
Okay, so let's develop the ideology.
But within the ideology, you're defining the core principles and values, of the people that are going to enable them to liberate themselves.
Awesome. Yeah? So what are those principles that we should all come together and agree upon?
Beautiful, right? The first one, we'll come back to this African-centered thing now, that we define, ourselves, according to, as Marcus Garvey said, our own culture and civilized idealisms. That means, especially because nobody, now they're talking about who's African and what. Like say any part of the African continent was immune from colonization, cultural and physical and otherwise.
But the Somalis, forget all of that. Somalis, forget all of that. Let's lay down the values.
So why are the key things is,
the Somali pirates say that's not true.
And a man's asking me like he don't know, innit? Yeah, because this is Titan TV, you know. You get me? This is a serious guy, you know. Anyway, one of the major things is, that we have to go through the process of relearning who we are. That's a reality. Especially spiritually and culturally. That's a reality.
Right.
Part of the process. Then once again, King, hold on there. Right? Then now we learn what that means, not just in terms of pouring libation and venerating ancestors, but what it means in terms of how we establish economy.
See the
how we establish.
Even all of that, bruv. Everyone's got different ancestors.
All of that, fam. And all of them are worth it, fam. All of them are worth it, fam.
Some people don't do the libation thing.
So who don't venerate the ancestors?
Hear what I'm saying?
Who don't venerate the ancestors? Tell me now, who don't venerate the ancestors?
So, but what values are we laying down to build our ideology? Let's go with the values.
What the values? Lay them down.
Key values.
Key values.
I'm speaking for a whole continent.
Also, I want Arabic to jump in as well. Go ahead. Come on, go through.
We're speaking for more than just the continent.
Go.
It's more than just the continent.
It's more than, definitely
It's more than just the continent.
Let's go, brother.
Exactly. The white man told you that you're Nigerian. Everybody gets sexy.
Wanda, that's diversion.
It's true.
It's
true.
Let's drop some values. Let's drop some values now. Let's all build.
You know what I'm saying before?
The white man told you.
Now we have to build ideological
and I
lines.
said to them, look,
Give you your DNA
at
test.
a
You
period of
accepted
time,
that. You get me?
we was calling
Accepted your
ourselves
DNA test, but I can't accept
Negro.
Nigeria.
Now look at today. Some people will even call themselves Africans, they'll call themselves Tamaranians.
We've been through that.
Then it's a different argument. When we're talking about liberation, remember it's mental slavery, spiritual slavery, of the oppression of the system, economical and all of that. But you know what, bruv? No one don't talk that. The Golden Value Circle,
We can't all agree on that because
talking
Kalam don't
labels.
believe in spirits.
Don't talk about their 3 degrees.
I don't know what that's.
No, but
the spiritual slavery thing.
But we're talking about. But we're talking about. But
Do you believe in that?
But Owen,
Spiritual slavery. Do you believe in that?
I don't know what your spirit is.
No, wait.
I don't know what your spirit is.
Right
now,
He don't know what his spirit is.
Diversion. Spirit diversion.
Where you are throwing out terms, and man don't even agree on them terms.
Kalam's down.
We talked about ideology.
But you know what?
United on ideology. Giving a value system. Now I'm trying to build a
Wait, Kalam. Wait. If a man don't agree,
You didn't question the libation.
a man don't.
He negated the libation. He negated the libation.
You missed the point that was being made. You missed the point that was being made. Right, hold on.
Tell me they're cooking
Right.
dinner.
First of all,
the chicken.
wait, one second.
One voice.
One voice. If we're having a conversation here, right, about the values and them kind of things there, and we discuss spirituality, it's okay, you know, for man to disagree on certain points, you know.
for sure.
It's okay for man to disagree on certain concepts, spiritual concepts. That's cool.
They're not fundamental to one's identity.
That's fine.
Spiritual
That's fine.
concepts.
But you said that we're spirit. Forget the flesh thing, we're spiritual beings. So the spiritual thing is fundamental.
The set of men that believe that this is the thing. We're talking within.
What is spiritual? It's not a universal
Hold on,
concept.
one voice.
Within Africa, or within the continent of the people that we're describing and the diaspora, spirituality should come first. Straight.
Okay, cool.
But
wait. Stop.
No, I'm agreeing. I'm gonna agree.
And it's a defining
But I'm
factor of
agreeing.
what some people
But
stand on.
let me show you.
Unifying.
But let me show you how.
This is someone.
But let me show you how I just did what he just said. You said to me. Let me hold on. You said to me.
What you're dealing with right now is ego.
No, I'm not.
You don't need to prove that point. Let's go back into this, yeah? We're talking about building right now, okay?
Yeah.
So you said ideology. We need to unite on this ideology. We need to have a value system.
And you asked me what values, yeah?
So give me some values.
And the thing
work
right. So the first thing I said was, we
Yeah.
have to begin to relearn who we are, yeah?
Yeah.
And I said spirituality, not just in terms of ancestor veneration and libation, but how that informed the developing.
But you still ain't dropped me a value though. Drop me a
But
value.
I am dropping you.
No,
give
me one word, value.
No, but it doesn't work on the
value is very
It's
hard.
not a one word. All right. I'll give you one word.
No. Let me drop one. Love, solidarity, unity, trust. Come on, man, let's go. Drop me something.
But when I say,
Come on, making you too bad.
if I say, unify African people, I'm already dealing with the principles of love, unity, solidarity.
But you haven't voiced
No,
that,
but this is the point I'm trying to make. You asked for a principle and a value. The first thing I said was African-centeredness.
Okay.
That's a term. Yes? That's what I said. So now I'm defining what that means.
Okay, I don't need it though. I don't need it.
No, but you're saying you don't need it.
I want some stuff.
All right, go on.
What else do you need?
need?
So we got African-centeredness.
But I'm saying that there are various principles and values that would define what that means. Yeah? So you might know what I'm talking about.
No, I'm with you.
We
I'm with
know
you.
what you're talking about. So
We can deal with that afterwards. I just want to
All
get
right. So what else? Why are you looking at?
Give me a few, man. Like, everybody else could jump
No,
in.
but I'm saying that African-centeredness would be an umbrella terminology.
Alright, cool. Big. That's one. Anybody else? Raven, what are you saying?
African-centeredness is a value. African-centeredness is a value.
We said
Is African-centeredness a value?
And how do you know? That's nothing to do.
You keep saying, people keep saying I come up with things, you know. Fam, I'm intelligent, yeah, but I'm not that intelligent, you know, my G. I think I always myself, you know, fam. No, for real. I'm a genius, you know, but I'm not that much of a genius, my G. Yeah, for real. Like, I'm deep, you know, but I'm not that deep, my G. You get me?
But
I'm getting to know this. You get me? It's not me. That's what hangs you, fam.
That's what hangs you. That's what hangs you.
You're not standing on your own
Am
mindset.
I not? Am I not? Am I not?
But that's what hangs you.
Why does
You don't know what
You never came up
to
with
answer.
one
You don't know. Fuck the ego. Fuck the ego. You don't know.
Right,
You don't know.
hold on, let me cook now.
Hold on, brother.
Go on, talk. Jollof. Cook that Nigerian jollof. Go on. Nigerian jollof. Even though it comes from the Wolof people. Go on, Nigerian jollof. Go on.
Come on, man. Come on. Build it. Right now, yeah. This is architecture
I
right now.
love Nigerian
Let's lay out the
jollof.
plans.
Compliment my
Let's lay
jeans.
out the plans.
I love Nigerian
I
jollof.
like my jollof rice, but we ain't talking
You about to give us the
about
plans.
Break it down.
Go.
Let Mike go.
Give up with black people, man. Shit.
We love black
I said this
people.
from the beginning, yeah. The ideology that you're bringing to Africa.
No, tell me about your ideology. What are you bringing? I don't want to hear about my thing. I'm saying about my thing. Tell me about your thing.
I'm just African.
You're African.
Wait.
After all this is African.
Alright, let him speak. Allow him to speak because we allow
if I
him to speak.
say I'm an African
What
just
voice?
as a thing because obviously it's levels of thinking. You know what I'm saying?
I don't what you're
It's
saying.
levels of thinking because we're using English. Yeah, we're using the
But
language.
Africa's not an English word.
No, you don't know what word it is.
Regardless.
Like, one question I want to know. Like, at the end of this, is this going to change
No,
anybody's life?
I want to know.
Wait. Is this going to change anybody's life? Hold on. There's going to be tens of thousands of people viewing this video right now.
It will change.
Everything that we're saying is going to
It
change
will
anybody's
change.
life.
It will change.
Let's move
Let me tell
to
you why it
something
will.
practical.
Let me tell you why it will.
Kalam, it will change their life.
Let me tell you why
As
it
much
will.
as Kalam, wait, let me ask you a question. It will change their life. It will change their life as much as everything that you do on your channel every day.
Yeah. All right, cool. So let's get into something that's deep.
It will change their life as much as everything that he does on his channel every day.
All right, deep. Let's get into something deep.
It's not deep. It's not deep.
Let's get into something deep, though. Let's
Go
get
on,
into it.
get deep.
Okay,
No,
so
but I'm asking
we
the
went
man.
to values.
I'm asking him about his team.
Kalam asked
What's
for
he
values.
bringing?
All right, Kalam asked for values.
Yeah.
You struggled with the values.
No, I didn't struggle with the values.
You didn't come up with no values. Then Kalam said, you know what? Love, trust, solidarity. Then you now entered African-centeredness. And I'm saying that's not a value.
What is that?
Wisdom.
It's an ideology.
And then you...
Education.
No, you don't didn't follow the train in the conversation.
And then
We
what
all
is that?
following
No,
you
no.
just talk to
No,
us.
no, no.
What is that in
One
Africa
mouth,
to
we
an
know,
African?
No.
ears,
The man asked me.
You know that in wisdom.
Fam, man, calm
One
down.
mouth
Bro,
and
calm
two
down.
ears.
Bro, calm down. Calm down, bro. Because you can't- A man can't ask me a question, yeah, and
Alright,
then
what
get
voice?
vexed in it.
What's
Right?
the
It don't make no
value?
sense,
Stop.
my G. Yeah,
Come
no,
back to
on a level.
that.
On a level.
Come
That's what I'm
I'll see that
saying. On a
question one
level.
more
Man
time.
said to me, what's the next step in it? I'm saying people form an ideology, then they develop an identity, then they develop an ideology out of their identity. What's the next step? I said the ideology yes, is African-centeredness. That's the principle, that fundamental principle of the ideology. Yes? So to tell me that it's not a principle, man already said, principles and values are two words that I introduced into the. I'm trying to say it's dumb, like my G. Right? All right.
Because my point is,
hold on.
Maku was about to break down.
Hold on.
For it to be dumb,
hold on. And we've gone far.
You were saying, what was the question? Values or principles?
No.
What was the value? What was it? Values or principles? Do you know the difference between values and principle? Do you know the value?
Fine.
Well, tell me the difference between value and principle. Because my man said unity, solidarity, my man comes with Central African. Bruv, that was out of the fucking picture. You blew yourself out the water. We're still with the facts. What is value? What's value?
It's cool.
You don't know.
It's
move
cool.
on.
It's cool.
What's African centered?
It's cool. No, wait. Hold on. I'm trying to say, there's no need for all this air, my G. There's no need for it, my G. Like, there's no need. Yeah? All right. No, that's fine. It's not a problem, innit? But if man's answering questions, then follow the train of conversation, innit? Right? Follow the train of conversation. So I'm saying, right? Because we're talking about a specific thing, you know. We're talking about the liberation of a people.
No.
Wait, Maji. No, I'm not going no far.
No.
Hold on.
African-centered.
Yeah, this is what I'm dealing with.
That's what.
Let me finish.
I want to know about that.
Let me finish what I'm saying.
Because I'm an African and.
Let me finish. But it's values, you know.
What's it?
Hold on. This is the problem with people. This is the problem.
What tribe are you?
This is the problem.
You get me?
A lot of people don't know the meaning of the words they use themselves. Because man says, where is your value? Where's the value?
You're asking where the values are, and man's trying to talk.
Go.
Bust it out.
Bam.
One value, could be, cooperative economics.
Amongst African people.
I don't know if that's a value.
It's not a value. It's not a value. It's not a value.
It's a political policy.
It's not a value. It's not a value. It's not a value. Oh, so you know what? Well, it's a principle.
Don't help him.
Is it a principle or not?
It's a value.
Value. He's going to say
It's a value.
Another principle is.
He's not sounding.
I need to moderate.
Another principle is.
Not really.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Can't love be the value.
Another principle is.
Value.
Proud heritage.
Okay.
Yeah, being proud of one's heritage is a principle of the thing.
So
make sense?
So you're saying,
can we agree as a principle?
You're saying value.
But how are we differentiating between principles and mentality?
Self-love. Self-love.
That's
self-love.
Self-love. What you just described is
self-love.
Yeah.
Proud heritage is self-love.
Yeah, self-reliance.
Okay, self-love. All right, we can.
Self-reliance is a value. It's a principle.
Don't use my words, bruv. Come on, your own thing. Because you know what I'm going to do today? When people come with my
self-reliance is not your word.
Self-reliance
is not your word.
Say your word.
Self-reliance is not your word.
Say your meaning.
All right, pause.
Say your meaning.
One second. Remember, one voice. Can we get one voice, right? And right about now, I want to build with everybody. You know what I mean?
Let's build.
You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to like embody Jedi's energy. Get me? Build a circle right now where we're all one body. You see what I'm saying? We're all one body. We can all interject something.
Right. Stick with the value.
Let's go.
So now you came up with a little value, yeah? I want somebody else to come up with a value system, a value that we can all kind of bring together.
No, hold on. All right.
You've done yours. You've done yours. You've done yours. You're Ravens. Come on, man. Discipline. So far, hold on. We got self-love or love. Let's just have it as simple as love. Love, yeah. We got discipline. Come on.
Yeah, love.
What are you saying, Maku?
Discipline.
Unity.
Give me a value system that we can all work with.
I don't even know.
No, you're supposed to teach me now, you know, Maji. You're the African, you're supposed to teach me now, you know, Maji.
One voice.
You're supposed to teach me now, you know, Maji.
What's that point?
I'm disappointed.
Honor.
Ricky.
All right, honor.
We get into values.
All right. Unity.
Thank you.
What are we saying?
Respect.
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 What are you saying, Jedi?
All of them. I'm feeling them ones. I'm feeling them.
They're all values.
I'm feeling them. These are core values. I think we've established the core values.
All right, so we
got.
No,
we haven't. You know why? You know why? You know why we haven't? Yeah.
I know why we haven't.
Why haven't we?
We ain't dropped no mat yet.
But if I say, anyway, but if I say I can say my art, you know. But what's my art though?
That's right.
Right. Hold on. And does my art apply to? Because my art's chemic, right? So how you gonna tell the Yoruba man? This is what we've been dealing with the whole time, you know. The Yoruba man about Ma'at.
We don't care about the name. We don't care about the name.
All right.
What it means.
Okay.
You done yourself, bro. The whole point is this, you know. Man said to me, "Oh, you want your Black Panther thing on? Yeah, Black Power." I said, "Fam, you know what? When I come up to the party, what's the mentality of certain people?"
Do you know what's funny about this?
So I used to wear black.
You know what's funny about this? You said, yeah. What does it mean? It doesn't matter what it means, yeah.
No, Jedi
said what it means, yeah. It's about what it means.
Principle behind it.
Exactly.
Hold on, wait.
That's your meaning.
The label, it means very little.
It's about what it means.
It's really about the object.
It's about what it means. It's about what it means.
If the principle was causing the issue, and you spent 3 hours trying to get it.
No. It's about what it means, yeah.
2 hours.
It's about what it means. It's about what it means. It's about what it means, yeah. So if a man doesn't know what Ma'at means, you're gonna explain to him what it means.
I'm not going to use the word full stop.
No, you're not gonna use it. You're not gonna go. Fine. So you're gonna explain the principles of Ma'at. Yes. What? And you're gonna explain it how?
Going to use what it means.
I might have to use the word truth.
Hold on.
Loyal.
Okay.
Justice.
Whatever language.
Right.
Order.
Exactly. Or whatever level you're on.
Right.
Don't matter what
Now
the word.
these are all words, yeah, that you have used to define a concept called Ma'at. Yes? Okay. So the word Ma'at encapsulates all of those principles.
Indeed,
Yeah, that's the correct thing, yeah? All right. So what's the problem then? Man are getting hype here because it's not about the word. It's about what it means. But you have used words to define what it means. And those words only mean something because we speak English and we have been taught the definition of those words.
And that's what I said earlier on.
My thing is
That's what I said earlier on.
That's it. That's it. So if I say,
Back to the building now.
Discipline.
If a man
Hold on. Discipline.
So what makes the word? What I want to know now is what makes the. It doesn't matter about the word, you know. But it's about the principles. But we're calling the principles truth. Justice. What makes the word truth and justice and balance and order more valuable than Ma'at?
Alright, no problem. Hold on, stop. Wait. One second, yeah. We're gonna do some discipline right now. We're gonna do some order right now, yeah. If anybody wants to speak, they do this. Or they do this. Yeah? Alright, let's go.
Go.
Let's go. Why did you do that?
I ain't saying nothing. Because you don't
Alright, one voice. I didn't see nobody put up their hands, you know.
Right, I'll put him up my black fist.
Alright, coach you.
Is that meaningful? Right, here what? Today, 3 hours, we try to explain that some people does not like to be caught up on labels. Labels is what we use. I said at a time time we was road man, we called ourselves niggers. Now we reached to a level where we don't like the word nigger, we don't even like the word black. Some of us don't even like the word African. You got people on it's all labels, bruv. Some people do not associate yourself with them. So when Rustbeck put me and said, "Oh, you the first one to say black power," I said, "Fam, you know what's on the ideology. I come to you on the ideology. I'm a teacher. I believe when I'm guiding the new generation of my youth, raise them up to a level where we can talk and strip certain ideology. Because this is all Willie Lynch. This is all post-traumatic slave stream doing. He knows it. I know it as a so-called cop, Pan-African, fighting for liberation. But guess what? Don't do that, bruv. Because you know what you're doing? You're playing handling trick.
Alright. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I see myself as Pan-African. I see myself as a Gambia. But one thing that Raven taught me is, if I'm coming to black people, I'm saying something, I realise there's something that's problematic. Why am I going to spend 2 hours, 3 hours trying to hit them over the head with this Pan-Africanist thing?
But I don't do that.
Everyone's already agreed on the principle. When everyone's already agreed on the principle behind it.
No, bro.
Let's work on that principle and let's not try to feed them.
No, I agree with you. But the conversation was about labels. The conversation specifically was about whether what we call ourselves means anything.
About labels.
Yeah, it was about labels. Okay, and I'm saying that the idea, I was disagreeing with the idea that it don't mean nothing. It don't. Yeah? Man was saying that it don't mean anything. And I'm saying no. What you call yourself, does mean something.
Oh yeah, but African means nothing to you because you don't know the meaning of African.
Alright, let's stop. We're regressing.
Discipline.
still trying to drag it home.
I'm not. The conversation was about that, yeah. And man was saying, all man was saying, yeah, it's not because if we're saying that we need to reject the identification given to us by our oppressors. Yes?
No problem. But
no way to disagree with that.
Let's did it.
It's fine. But the idea is, all people self-define.
Yeah.
It's natural.
No problem.
It's natural to do that. The point is, what do we self-define as? And if a man's going to tell me
that's
that...
not self-defining.
We don't need to go into that. We don't need to go into that. Because we want to build.
We're building.
Remember, let's respect the audience right now. Because they want to learn
I'm agreeing, you know. I'm agreeing. But let me show what I'm saying. No, let me show what I'm saying. Brother just said, yeah, and everyone said, yeah, what man's saying is real still. Yeah? But man is saying, yeah, he says black power and he uses it in the context of when he's talking to people, when he says black power, in this dispensation of time, they know what the Ras is talking about. Yeah, it's a communicative tool, so they understand when he says black power, there are certain principles. Even if they don't know the in-depth intricacies of the history of the thing and whatever, there are certain principles that they can understand. When a man says black power, because I say black power too, yeah, that they know what he's talking about. Yeah, so when I say African,
we agree.
When I say the point,
we're good.
Wait, when I say African, when I say Pan-African, I'm building the
Alright, let's build. Alright, cool. Hold on. Because we're building on. We're building on your foundation. Oh no. Stop. I don't want to regress. Let's leave that conversation alone right now. Yeah. Alright, we talked about an ideology that we could unite upon, right? Then we created a value system, right? Right. So we done that.
We haven't created a value system. We haven't. You know why I'm saying that? Yeah, and I'm not being anal, you know. Yeah, but you see, you know, see for real, right?
Go ahead.
Right, because man, I put forward truth, yeah, and love, yeah, and these kinds of things, yeah. You and I both know that truth and order and these things. From the principles of my art, weren't just these airy-fairy concepts. People said love, truth. There were ideas that govern how respect was shown, how love was shown.
That's right.
Yeah, what that means.
That's right.
Because love is not a universal concept, Maggie.
That's right.
Love means
it's not even just a comedic concept either.
I didn't say it was.
I know.
Right. That's the point I'm trying to make. But my point is that people. That formulate
enough for us then?
No, it's not about that. I am trying to define it for us, you know. I am saying we can't fool ourselves and go on and say because just because you've thrown out some words, we actually identify the thing. It don't go like that.
No problem. You know what? I'm with you.
Yeah, what is the point? Right now, you've given the step by step. Like you've been asked the step by step. This is what you've kind of offered. We've now filled the picture. We've now colouring in the picture you've drawn. This is your foundation. So you gave us the 1, 2, 3. We've gone from one. We've gone to 2. We started providing the values.
No, you know why? But you know why you're not going off my definition, though? Because you were asking me specifically about Pan-Africanism and defining that. Yeah. And
that's what can we build on?
No, I know.
And when you asked what we can build on, then you said, boom. Step 1, step 2, step 3.
He was asking me what I would suggest in it, right? And from a Pan-African perspective. So a man was asked to put forward a thing, he didn't put forward a thing.
Alright, cool. Say nothing. Let's move on. Right? So we got it now. So what's the third step? We need to go to the third step.
It's about acting upon it.
Okay. So now how do we act upon it? We've got our ideology that we can unite upon. We've got a value system that hopefully all of us.
Just the point I'm saying that we haven't.
Okay. We can still flesh it out, but right now we ain't got the time. We ain't got the time. Right? We ain't got the time.
Talking about
we're gonna just do it for now, right now.
Hold on. This is the folly of the process like this, though, yeah. Because this is the important process, you know. But the reality is we don't have the time to throw. Because what we're dealing with, we're trying to distill complex things into simplistic statements.
Which are bring the macrocosm to the microcosm.
And I'm saying,
we're dealing with the media right now.
I know that, right?
But we want to inspire. Hold on. What we're trying to do, is inspire and educate them.
Inspiration without substance is empty.
Out of the way right now.
Inspiration without substance is empty, my G. What I'm trying to say, what I'm saying. No, I'm not. I see what you're trying to do, you know.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say, because it would even make more sense to me if we said, all right, let's take one of these principles and values, and let's define what that means. How do we pursue the attainment of this principle in a way that speaks to our history, our culture, and our destiny as a people?
I'm with you, my brother. But right now,
if we define ourselves as a people,
I said I wanted to do something practical.
Well, how is it practical?
We're going to move on to practicality right now.
Go on.
First of all, because we we know full well that we can't try fitting everything all in one time. But the whole question is this, yeah? We will come with certain values like unity, solidarity, and the actions what we go do upon it, we go work together on that.
You want practical?
Yeah? Has to be.
You want practical? You see me, yeah?
Bro, man, just
you see me, yeah? When I leave, alright, you see me, yeah? There's two things.
Yeah, and the man say, well, like, it's like,
no.
It's like when you don't want to hear, like, bro, I'm telling you, when you don't want to hear what the next man's saying, or you don't.
Man's hearing, but man, when it's practical, yeah. And when I speak, everyone talk about practical and everything.
No, but hold on, my eyes was up, you know.
I apologize. No, I don't know. You're right. I apologize.
That's the call.
I apologize.
That's it. We're embodying the value system.
There's no practical unless it's done.
We both stand for the same thing, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you know this, yeah? We both stand the same.
But I know this already, Maggie.
Fam, please.
Yeah.
You had your time to talk.
No, it's love. I'm just agreeing with you. I'm just afraid what you're saying.
If you love me more, like how I love you,
let
me talk, innit?
I'm letting you talk. I'm not
right. So what we want to build upon, we want us to actually start doing things. So when we're talking about the practicality, what can we do as people to put certain things in place? That's the question.
Right. So, for the best part of a decade, yeah, I taught in a Black Saturday school. Yes, I still support the Saturday school right now. Now I teach in a homeschoolers group, network called the Art Academy of Excellence. Yes, all right. In that homeschoolers group, 5 days a week. Yeah, I'm not the only teacher, one of a few. I teach media studies, and African history, right, in that institution. Yeah, it's one of the things I do. Yeah, I'm in the management of Got Kush TV, developing African Black Power media for our people. Yeah, man don't come here because man's not doing things, fam. Yeah, man's doing things, fam. So when we talk about what are we doing, but the point is, because this is what man understands. Because man, Kalam, you speak on your platform about spirituality and history every day, Maji. That's the reality. I'm never gonna come to you and say you're not doing nothing, Maji. That's the reality. So I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I am not saying. I am not. No. I am not. Listen. We're having a conversation, innit? Right? But within the conversation, I can look at man them, I know that man them are doing things, innit? The conversation that we're having, just like the conversation that you have on your own platform, are part of the doing something. These are conversations that our people are having, and they might take something from the inside, or whatever. They might agree with my man.
That's why taking it in a way, and this is why I don't agree with Raven's point of no one ain't learning nothing.
No, people are learning. At that point, I got what he was saying. I got what he was saying. I'm
gonna be fair.
Fam, I run
even within the shouting. Man is learning from that.
I got a business I got a business where I create African-centered learning resources for Black children. Yeah?
Can you plug it real quickly?
Meducation.com. MEDUKATION.com, innit? Yeah?
Hold on, real quickly, and what products can you find on there?
At the moment it's mostly learning aids, like wall aids, so early learning stuff, ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, then and things that relate to our history. So for example, because I'm an African, like in the sense of there's the one with the times tables, and we teach you about the Ishango bone on the times table one. So you got to talk a bit of history along with the thing.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Support our businesses, man, and let us grow.
But my point is that, give facts, But it's not even like my thing, but all of that comes from a school of thought, it comes from my ideology. It's not just because I love Black children why I do it. No, I love Black children. Right? Yeah, that's fine. No. But it's not, but
and I think that was kind of some of the point that we're dealing with.
What did I say? It's not just because I love Black children why I do it. Because I could love Black children, and buy them PlayStation as an expression of my love. I can love Black children, and you know what I'm saying?
You already described
buy
that
them,
love is a principle.
Buy them Barbie and Ken.
That's not love. That's not love.
Exactly why. But it might be that because there's somebody watching this right now that has bought a white doll for their child as an expression of their love. And I say no, because I'm an African-centered man. So African-centeredness means I must buy the child something that reflects who they are. Because I know what that white doll represents.
Awesome.
It's a different thing.
Maku.
I just don't understand what the brother's saying, because I thought the idea was that a man comes with an ideology that's Pan-African, yeah, that with all these elements, man is going to take it on a supposed trip to Africa, do you get what I'm saying, and then try and apply it.
You should ask the question. You shouldn't say that's what
That's what I'm saying. No, I'm asking. I'm just saying. Yeah. This is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to say it's all well and good, everything you're saying. We built up the principles and everything and all this and blah, blah, blah. But where are you applying it? Are you finding a piece of land that has no people? Or are you going to populated areas where they already have systems?
So one of the things that, and your argument, yeah,
it's not an argument.
What you're saying to me, yeah, is kind of imprisoned by the fact that you're defining Pan-Africanism as though it's exclusively outside of the continent, yeah, and I'm saying that it's not, because if it was, Nkrumah wouldn't exist, Sankara wouldn't exist, Lumumba wouldn't exist.
Where did they study?
Come on, Maji, like.
Where did they study?
Be honest.
But what are you talking about?
No, because it's an inherited. Is it an inherited ideology from that land, or is it something that they learned from schools of thought, maybe outside of the continent?
Like I said, so when you wasn't here, but that's the point I'm trying to make. You lot are so if a man studies,
it's only a question.
But if, no,
I don't know the answer, you know.
But if fine. So, but the fact of the matter, the reality is, people who study at European universities don't mean that they get their political ideology from European universities.
Not saying that.
Paisley Hayford, fine. Paisley Hayford, who's a man from
Where's
Ghana.
the Pan-Africans?
Yeah, let me finish.
Go on. Sorry,
He didn't study in a European university, Pan-Africanist. Yeah? Marcus Garvey didn't study. Well,
was he inspired by someone? Was he inspired? That one that you mentioned first?
No, this is the point I'm trying to make. Paisley Hayford.
Was he inspired by someone that was?
All of them, no, that's the point I'm trying to make. The ideology of Pan-Africanism is not a university ideology. Yes, at a certain point, many of the top proponents of it studied at universities.
Where does Pan-Africanism come from?
I want to move. Can we move forward?
I was trying to answer the question. No, don't do that, Maji. You can't do that. No. You can't do that.
Respect.
I'm saying something. Man are throwing questions on top of questions, and the man don't get to finish the thing. Hold on a second. You asked a question, right? No. All right, fine. Yeah. You asked about Africa and Ghana a while ago, yeah. My organisation runs a shop, yeah. 20 years called Mama Africa Culture Shop. Yeah? One of the things that we used to trade in is traditional garments from Africa. Yes? One of the things that we did was we developed a factory in Ghana along with a group called the African Mission. Yeah? That were Africans, born and raised in Ghana, whereby we were getting the clothes made, shipping them in and selling them. Yes? That's one of the things that we've done. There are many people that you've connected with on the continent. What I'm saying, like, when we do feel like that, like, it's like
I like to talk right now. You're
like, you ask a question, man gives you an answer, and you're giving me this.
It's getting old. It's getting late.
1 second.
I hear you. I don't like. Let's be genuine.
Let's be genuine. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I don't like people insulting my intelligence.
But I'm
You're wearing the military.
Hold on. 30 seconds conversation.
Thank you.
I want to talk.
You're wearing a military outfit.
Yeah.
We're talking about revolution. Yeah.
You haven't heard me say about revolution all now. I do believe in revolution,
I've not heard him
but
say
that's what I'm saying. But you haven't heard that from me. So when you're bringing things to me, you know, it's like I know.
Asked him if
this
he's
I'm trying to
gonna
say.
fund the revolution.
No, you asked me about what am I doing in Africa, and whether I've connected. No, the question you asked me was, what is man doing in Africa, and if man is,
ideology
in Africa, and I'm giving you an example of that. So when you're giving me this thing about revolution and military garment, it's not even relevant to the thing that.
All right. Forget all of that. Now we come up with something that was very profound today, right? We made quite a lot of headways today, and I would love for our audience members here can kind of take this as an example that they themselves can do inside of their own sphere or circles, right? So let's actually create a mastermind group, right? Who can create or construct an ideology, for the betterment of black people, if it's black people, white people, if it's white people, Asian people, if it's Asian people, right? And come,
Asian,
and come up with a value system, that everybody here everybody within inside of that mastermind group can work upon or unite upon, right? And then obviously, I'm assuming to expand upon it and to actually actualize anything else that has with it, right?
And work with other groups.
So far, we have haven't actually spoken about.
But you're
things-
saying that. You're saying that, yeah.
So far, we haven't spoken. Let me finish. So far, we haven't spoken about things that we can actually actualize upon.
Yeah.
And what I mean by actualizing upon,
but we have
hold on. It's things such as goals, right? Do we have any financial goals that we want to achieve? Do we have any educational goals we want to achieve? Transportational goals, property goals, land goals. You know, all the other things that we need to actually achieve, right? No, it's not for you. It's not for you to come up with, right? Yeah, because you, it's like the grandfather right now. You laid the foundation. Hold on. You laid the foundation. You laid the foundation
of this conversation.
You laid the foundation that we can all built upon, right? Based upon your 3-step protocol, right? So hopefully everybody else who's watching right now could kind of take that on board. But there's a lot of other things that we need to tweak, right? There's a lot of other
the
things
problem is that everything that you're saying in terms of goals requires organisation.
Of course.
Yeah. And organisation has to come around certain principles and certain values.
That's right.
Things that at the basis of which is love and solidarity and respect. But you have to get deeper than that for the thing.
Of course.
Now I'm saying that there are groups and organisations that are already doing what you're talking about.
Perfect. So you know what I want to do right now as well, yeah? So I want to do because hopefully these groups. Hold on. These groups may be watching, right?
Yeah.
And like my purpose really.
But somebody in my hair.
My purpose.
Somebody in my hair.
Let me show you something. My purpose, I actually want these groups to come down because I want a mastermind group to actually be formed, right? That we can work together and move forward. Because right about now I've been in the Black Conscious movement for like over 15 years, over 15, maybe even prior to that, And I have seen a lot of rhetoric.
I've seen a lot of this type of stuff.
Right?
But
Hold on. There's been a lot of talk, right? But there's never no proper, solid action.
But you know what I'm saying?
And when there is action, right, it fails at the first hurdle.
All right, let me show you something.
What I'm saying?
Let me show you something.
It's nice, isn't it?
I agree.
Yeah. About consciousness, my G. Yeah? We should all be unconscious out here.
No
consciousness around here, you get me?
saying that.
No consciousness, fam.
Listen.
No mentality.
Let's stop dropping the level. Let's keep the levels
Let's keep it
high.
up, bro. Come on, man.
What's up, bro?
Come on, let's keep this conversation.
It's a joke. It's a joke. All right, let's go.
Someone answer my question.
Let me hear the problem. I'm starting a problem with what you're saying. It didn't take.
I need this.
So we tried to identify.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, sorry, I tried to first Spartan and all them things there. I didn't want to.
Oh, sugar.
What, you just thought of it when I said it?
No love, man. There's no love, you know. No respect around here. No solidarity. No solidarity, you get me? It fell, fam. At the first hurdle, my G. The first hurdle.
I felt.
What's that about?
Value system.
All right, let me show you what. It's organisation. Now, you said you've been in it for 15 years, and nothing ain't going in, A man said the same thing, right? A man said this, my whole life, same. Yeah, born and raised. Yeah, right?
What,
in the
Pan-African
thing.
thing?
Yeah, and I can't say.
Is that what you're talking about?
The conscious community. And I can't say what you're saying. Yeah? Because I've seen people come and do fantastic work. Yeah? I've seen people come and do brilliant work.
As a whole.
Yeah? No, organizations. No, there's no individuals out here moving nothing. It's groups of people. Yeah? I've seen it, Maggie. It's not what I would want it to be. Yeah? And them kind of things. But I'm saying that it didn't take for you to come here today, to come with this realization. Right. So I'm saying, what is it about? Because I see enough people say what you're saying, you know. But I don't understand why the people that say that haven't come together among themselves.
Done their own thing.
Exactly. To solve the problem that they're talking about. The people them that they're talking about are doing stuff. They got Saturday schools. They got homeschoolers groups. They got businesses. They're running meditation classes. I teach yoga as well. Yeah? Right?
The Yoki man to Brahma, yeah?
Is that African?
No,
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah. I teach him yoga.
Committed yoga.
Right? That's what I teach. But it don't matter about the label, my G. It don't matter about the label. It's about what it does.
As long as you're yoking yourself to a spiritual entity, it don't matter what you call it.
It's what I'm saying. We agree, Jedi.
You don't want to do that, though.
We agree.
You don't want to do that. Who's Brahma? You're yoking yourself to Brahma.
I'm not Brahma, you know. I'm on Brahma, you know.
All right.
Fire for Brahma.
All right.
So my point is, why don't all the people them that are saying all this stuff, I've been in this thing for time, fam. And no one ain't doing nothing, Everyone's saying that, and all the people that are saying it still ain't doing nothing. No, but what I'm saying is, it is. Hear what I'm saying. The people them that are saying it are not doing anything more than the people that they're talking about.
All right, perfect. So this all again, this is what I want to do. I want to make sure. So please, you guys who are watching this, I'm trying to inspire you guys to come down to speak Speaker's Corner.
Inspiration to
right?
it.
And link up with like-minded individuals like Shaka, Jedi, my brother here, Scattered Minds, Raven, Maku, everybody, Terry.
Whether you're a Yoruba, whether you're Igbo, yeah, whether you're Zulu, Ashanti, Kikuyu, whether you're South African or Nigerian or Ghanaian or Kenyan or Ethiopian, Eritrean,
Shout out my
Congolese.
What's
my Aborigine though?
My Maoris, my people from
my Somali people them
that are at the bottom of their particular economic ladder. Yeah,
What about your black and
if you don't, everyone.
My Omani,
everyone. Come on, man.
But these are all, but I embrace that, you know. I embrace the Aborigine thing, you know. Man's original to the thing, fam.
You know what, yeah?
It's not a problem.
We'll be real nice, yeah? Can we do this? Can we do this? I'm gonna try something right now, yeah?
This guy.
I'm gonna try something right now.
This guy.
Can we?
No, it's cool, you know. You know what I respect you. You know what I respect you. I just understand that you're a contrarian, innit? You're a contrarian, so I have to just respect the contrarian energy. You get me?
I don't know what that means.
You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. It don't matter what it means. It don't matter what it means. It's about what it is. It's not about the word. It's not about the word. It's not about the word.
What are you describing?
It's not about the word. It's not about the word. It's not about the word.
What are you
It's not about the word.
What are you describing?
It's not about the word.
I get the word. I'm saying,
It's not about the word. It's not about the word.
Likes to argue.
It's not about the word.
What are you
It means
describing?
whatever you say it
Thank you,
means.
thank you.
It means whatever you
Someone
say
that
it
likes to
means.
argue, thank you.
Whatever you say it means.
All right, so you're the
whatever
one
it
using
means
the
to
word.
you.
I don't use the word. That's why I don't know it.
I'll joke.
It means nothing, I know, but like, keep the levels up, though, innit? All of us are black people
Can we
on the
do this?
level,
Can we do this?
so
Yeah.
let's keep the levels up.
I'm gonna throw something out. Yeah, I know I'm gonna get shot down for this, right?
Go on.
But I would love you.
My God ready, you know. My God ready.
I would love for us here to create a mastermind group. Because I think we've got a lot of talented people here, a lot of intelligent people here, a lot of people with a lot of experience.
What's a mastermind group?
A mastermind group is a group of, as I said, well-talented, well-intelligent people, a think tank that can come up with the solutions for our people.
Okay.
Can we do that?
So we're gonna leave here
But where though?
to convene to meet and do some more talking.
Okay, so now you're being a contrarian.
No, I am, but deliberately. No, I am, but deliberately.
Yeah,
And I don't have my hand. I'm being contrarian, but deliberately. Go on.
And the reason why is that we need to actually construct or create plans.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
We need to create plans. So the first step is actually to be speaking. The second step, okay, after we've articulated it, we need to actually pen this down.
Yes.
Right? And then after we pen it down, we need to all agree that we're going to be acting upon these things.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
And that's real action. That's actionable things, right?
Yes.
So can we do that? I'm asking, can we do that?
No, I think we can, except for the fact that for the position I'm in,
Yeah.
I would say that I'm already part of doing that.
Okay.
Just what I'm saying.
Okay.
So it's about, but my point is,
So you know what you could do? As I said, you could bring those
No,
expertise
yeah, that's fine. But
over to this mastermind group.
Listen, yeah, I ain't been there, like,
One mastermind group at a time.
but you have to understand, yeah, because
That makes sense, though.
What I'm gonna
I'm
say,
not
yeah,
even
sorry, you wanted to speak in it, so let me.
And then you know what else as well? Other people who's thinking like how we're thinking, they can join this mastermind group.
Right, but that's
you
the
know
point.
what be real excellent as well is if we can leave them an email address or something like that they can email their actual interest in something like this to join.
Let me ask a question.
Come on down to death row.
Let me ask a question. Right? What's gang? But yeah, you told me that what acronym means. But what
Okay.
what
I don't want to go there.
No, we should. You know
I don't
why?
want to go there.
No, but you
I
just.
don't want to go there.
Because
that's what's that doing again is like sidetracking us.
No, it's not.
Into something else. I don't want to debate. I don't want to debate.
No.
what
I'm
gang
not.
is.
I'm not. No, it's not a debate.
What I want to know.
Debate.
Okay, no problem. I want to know. Yeah, can we come together and unite and create this?
But the reason why I'm asking the question is because. The reason why I'm asking the question is because my understanding is partly that's what gang is doing. They've come together in this formation, and looking at
generation.
No, that I'm aware.
That's
Africa. You don't know nothing about it.
Ask questions, man. Ask questions.
Okay, again we're getting sidetracked.
Isn't that what I just did?
You never know.
Wait. Man, I told you to ask questions. Did I not just say what is?
Guess what?
No.
We're not talking about gang right now. We're not talking about gang right now. Trust me, we're not talking about gang.
Gang new generation, the younger generation.
Okay. This is we're creating.
Gang is not a Pan-African movement or anything like that. But
this is the
but
mastermind.
members of it share those principles.
No, can I say?
Do you understand?
No, hear what I'm saying. I'm not, because man are feeling disrespected by the question.
No one is.
We're just saying we didn't want to talk about that or go down that.
Remember, He's not a member of that particular organisation.
But I was asking him.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, because if a man is saying guiding the new generation, but I'm saying if a man is saying guiding the new generation, it suggests to me that because you're guiding in it. Yeah, you said we want measurable goals, principles and things that we can act upon to achieve, So if we're guiding the new generation, and man supports the thing, listen, you don't know, I've been places and told people about gang in it, that you don't know about in it, right? It's not even a joke, It's not even a joke, So it's not.
I'm with you. I've done the same thing.
There's no disrespect in the thing, but I'm saying that if we're guiding, then there must be goals in it. So based on what you're saying to me. It would.
The gang ones, the gang ethos may be slightly different, even though it shares some of the principles and values. Exactly what we're talking about. It may be slightly different.
Now let me ask a question then. Why would we not, join something existing rather than trying to create something new?
No problem. Do that. But I'm talking about this right now.
No, but that's
good. I'm okay.
Okay.
I already said support the businesses, support the organizations.
You're part of probably a Pan-African organisation.
No, I'm not talking about my Pan-African organisation. I'm saying, for example, there are different groups that have come together to
I'm saying here, this speaks clear. He's saying let's get more black people coming down here. Once they come down here, maybe then they can learn about the different organisations that exist, and maybe they could then choose to join one of them or join another one of those.
I'm going to let the process flow.
All right, so I'm going to ask the question. Everybody who's present here, are you not interested in coming together and building?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I'm coming to
Who
build.
else?
I'm coming every Sunday building, but I got to go.
Hold on. Everybody else is interested, right? You're interested. But guess what? Don't stop. No.
Man got to build, you know. Man got to build right now.
What's that?
Yeah, I'm building my team.
Yeah. Before that. If we're all interested in that, right? If we're all interested in that, I know my brother over here. Yeah.
Safety, love, respect, solidarity.
Yes, please. I can't even see him. Safe for that bless.
All right, so now we know that, right? I know my brother, Raven, he has a great network here, and I'm pretty sure you have a great organizational system, right?
Yeah.
So can you, I'm giving this to you, yeah? I'm giving this to you, right?
I think you should take it, because you put it on the table, Maggie.
No problem, right? But I'm giving it to my brother. I don't know, I'm electing my brother right now, right? All right? Because I know I can vouch for him right now, yeah?
So delegation.
Is it possible, that you can give us an email address or some type of contact detail that we can all give you our details so we can all be unified and link up with each other?
Well, I can set one up if that's the case. Let me set up an email so we can give that out to the time base. But also, just to add to that, let's try to make an owl corner, right? Where we invite all people of like mind to come down to potentially join this mastermind concept we were talking about, right? So maybe this section.
And those of you that are interested in helping to guide the new generation, and interested in the things that are affecting the youth in our immediate reality, hit up gang as well, innit? Because we might not all get to all do this great mission, but what we can do is try and do something for the youth, the next generation. So if we don't work with that next generation, all the plans that we try to set up in this mastermind group are going to be worth.
Hold on. But also, I don't want us just be linking up here on a Sunday at Speaker's Corner, right? Because the things that we need to be doing and constructing, like we need to do it behind closed doors, okay? Away from prying eyes and away from any type of distraction and interruption. We
need to meet up at Ackland Village.
You know what? Can I
Yeah, I've used it already.
Can I ask a question? Well, because this is my first time coming down here, As I said to you, our mutual brethren invited me down here years ago.
Ackland Village.
Man, them have been coming down here for years. What has prompted this particular thing today?
You.
To be honest with you,
you're the catalyst.
To be honest,
I'm not good looking. I'm not good looking.
To be honest with you, I've been waiting to do this for a long time.
You're a madman, you know.
I've been waiting to do this for a long time. But I hate to be the one who's just coming up with something and giving it to the people, right? I'm not trying to be the leader right now, okay? I want every single person here to be an independent thinker. Okay, and come together in solidarity and unity to work together for our betterment. Not simply one person coming up with an idea and everybody jumping on it. I'm not trying to work like that. I'm trying to work as a universal whole. You dig what I'm saying?
Makes sense.
And right about now, the consciousness is kind of rising to that level. So let's deal with it.
Respect.
All right. So wait, real quickly, yeah? My brother, you've got content's number, right? Or details, right? So before content actually uploads this video, could you make sure you set up that email that is going to be at the bottom of this particular video? All right. So I'm definitely going to be one of the first persons that's going to send my contact details over. We're all going to link up next week. Will we say next week?
I can't do next week still, but yeah.
Okay.
So I'm a new daddy, you know. So I got to take care of business. Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, good time.
Yeah.
My son's African though, still. You know what I mean?
Sure.
African. I'm sure, bro.
Not a Pan-African, just an African.
Both.
How many people we got here right now? I just want to check some numbers. So how many people are agreeing to this right now? Yeah.
Make it concise. In what are we agreeing to?
Okay. So agreeing into actually uniting or coming together to construct a mastermind group, number one, and construct a group that can actually create solutions for our people.
Alright, can I just put something? The whole point of really coming to the park is to really network, man, and to find common solidarities where we can move forward as a people, you know? So when people's coming off with these, what we need to do to move forward is to come together and, you know, just work on certain things what affects people out there. It's not here, bruv. It's people out there. We have to go to the people.
I agree.
You know, but we could come together with our masterminds, you know, and let the masters work.
Respect. Respect. I keep on trying to order the tea, get me. I appreciate that.
I think we're rapping right now. I just want to see how many people we've got so far that's on this vibe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope.
No Somali pirates in this. What, no Somali pirates? They all gone.
9.
Come on, my Somali pirates.
Are we missing anybody?
Yeah? Are you there?
Are we missing anybody? 10. All right.
Right, I went using the term of Somali pirates. You hear me?
Yeah.
Bro, do you know what? The whole pirates thing worked me. It was man picking you up saying, yeah, big up the Somali pirates.
Yeah.
You get me?
Or the
That's
black
where it came
downs.
from. You get me?
What do you say? We're gonna drop some music now.
We're going. Next week alcohol, innit? So all the man and them come down. Let's work on solutions, and we'll take this section here anyway.
Right.
There you go.
Mastermind call.
But I'll have that email.
We got content over everything. Because you have the black. I'm just gonna leave it like that. You get me? You're gonna learn. Love. You're gonna learn.
You got it really, bro.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
You've had it for decades.
Content over everything. From your melanin.
Man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV. Listen. COE. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV. I don't even listen to Sky Magic. I just listen to COE. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV. I don't even listen to Sky Magic. Man, just listen to COE. Man, just listen to COE. Man, just listen to COE. If you see me, it's COE. Content over everything. COE.
Man, not even know BBC. Man, not even know ITV. Not even listen to the MUM. They just listen to COE.